Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Time for another live stream. Hope you guys are having a good evening. I'm going to go ahead and get us started on here and Twitch. So, just hoping everyone's having themselves a very good evening. We're going to attempt a simulcast here. So if you're just joining us over on the Twitch side, what's up everyone? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Joining us on a Saturday night. Time to get some work done, right? So let's go ahead and add our little YouTube chat. Hope you guys are having a good evening. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the chat open. So there you have it. Okay. Hope you guys are having a good night. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna hop on Discord. I think I have a. You guys have to hang on for just a second. I know it's gonna. We gotta get the word out that we are streaming right now, right? So I'm just gonna copy that link. And I'm going to go ahead and head over to Paint Bottle Throwers. Okay, so hope you guys are having a good evening. Alright, enough self-promotion, let's go ahead and get to it. Now if you are just tuning in, just so you know, we are live on the Discord server as well. If you want to hop on and do some talking on there, that is also available to you. What's up, Congo? Welcome to the feed. We're gonna get to it here in a minute. We've got some stuff to paint tonight. We're gonna build it first. We're gonna do the whole thing. The whole shebang-a-bang. Let me open up YouTube comments here. It always takes some time here to get up, set up, and hopefully we should be at a good spot here. Here we go. Alright, so tonight's task. We're going to work on this. These are the BackGate prisoners. They've been sitting on my desk for a while. Not a high priority thing, but again, we're at a decent spot right now. We're kind of working our way through some older, not just commissions, but like stuff that's been kind of hanging out on the desktop for a while. So the sooner we get to a clear desk, the sooner we can start taking on the bigger projects, right? A little more ambitious stuff after this. So let's get some bases out. I have 1, 2. Please tell me I got 4 of these. It'd be awesome if I had 4. It would be about as funky as this track that's playing right now. Nikes. Telling you, we have it. I gotta just find it. I mean, I have one right there. It's a little beat up though. I don't think we want to use that one. We will if we have to. We just, yuck. You know what I mean? You have a better solution in play, you go for the better solution. That might be it though. That might be what we're talking about, yo. Alright. Yeah. I got too much mess. I think the core issue is I have way too much stuff on my desk right now. Just so much clutter. It's probably about time I get through and like repaper my desk. But not tonight, guys. We're gonna do a little bit of painting. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to use this kind of beat up one. Not the end of the world. I'll just have to like patch it or, you know, figure something out. Hey, what's up, Canvas? Welcome to the feed. Okay. Let's get these guys out. Apparently I'm missing one of the stat cards too. That's a little scary. Hopefully that guy shows up, because that would suck really bad. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Okay. Painting saber. Alright, so let's see what we got here in terms of pieces. We got that dude. We got this dude. And with this dude. And we got this dude. That's awesome. They're all one-piece miniatures. Gotta love that. Gotta love that, man. Alright. So a little bit of cleanup, and we can get this underway. With this pothole issue I have here, I don't know if I can make that damage or what. Hope you guys are having a good evening. And you're having a good weekend. Mine is okay. We're doing okay. You know. A little bit of a downer. My wife is she's having a rough weekend. You know, she lost her cat this weekend. We had to put our old cat down that she had for she's had that cat for 19 years, you know. She's had that cat before me. Before she met me, she had that cat. Like, you know. So I really feel for her. She's doing okay, you know. The weekend was mostly about just kind of sitting around and... Hey, what's up, Dave? Welcome to the feed. Welcome to the feed, sir. Alright. So let's get a little bit of prep done on these guys. One of the things I want to do, though, is I'm just going to put a little bit of plastic putty here. Are you painting anything, Canvas, or do you have time to paint stuff these days? What's the deal with Canvas? What is the deal with Canvas? There we go. It's a little bit of a... Just going to fill it. It's just going to be random crud when I'm done with it. You got your head set up. Awesome, man. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do a little clippy clip right here. Yeah, that reminds me. Hey, Canvas, are you on Discord? Do you use Discord? Are you on Discord? We do have a Discord server now for Play It Painted. So if you ever want to go on, hop on that server. And there's a little voice channel there called On Air. And whenever I'm in that channel, guess what? I'm on air. And you can hop in that channel. And you can talk all kinds of trash to me. You can say dirty things to me if you want. Right? If you're interested. If you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight's task is these BackGate prisoners. And I'm really liking the detail on these guys. Looks like Knight did a good job switching over to resin. I do have Discord up. So, and we are simulcasting right now. Ooh, getting a little bit of chop on my video, but it is what it is. Nope. Kind of liking this dude. I don't know why he's got his fist up against his face like that though. It's like he's trying to pose for like a senior photo or something like that. Look at that. Did you guys have to pose like that for your senior photo? Did they make you do that? Like put your, make a fist with your hand and put it against your chin. Did you guys ever have to do that? Or is it just me? They make you do that stupid, like, pensive pose? What's up, Crow? You'd start streaming right when I finish painting Zatanna. Sorry, dude.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. What's up, man?
Finished because I got impatient. Just really wanted it.
Nice. It's rad that you got Zatanna, finally.
Yeah,
The one... Uh-huh.
I can run Young Justice Crew, which is Nightwing, Kid Flash, Arsenal, and Zatanna.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool. Is that a legal setup too? Nightwing is the... Nightwing is the boss?
You have...
Kid...
I think you have to use Arkham Nightwing, because then he becomes a leader and he has charismatic, so you can take the extra free agent.
Oh, gotcha.
But I think Arsenal's a sidekick anyway.
Yeah, if Arsenal's a sidekick, then it doesn't matter. You could take any Jason Todd you want, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Plus, they all have charismatic. So.
Ah, Canvas is hopping on. He's downloading Discord. That's serious business, man. We got Canvas to commit to getting some Discord. So as soon as you...
that icon. I know it's by a movie. It's from a movie that Guillermo del Toro directed. I cannot remember which one though. I think Pan's... Oh, not
Pan's Labyrinth?
Oh, that's not a... I don't think it is.
I don't know. What do I know? I don't know. I don't know.
Directed Pan's Labyrinth. Oh yeah, it is a Guillermo del Toro movie.
Yay! I'm accidentally correct.
Guillermo. I think you did that new movie, Shape of Water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody I follow on Twitter said that one was really good. Plus,
It
a lot
looks
of people
really
like
good. Yeah. I totally want to see that. That does look really good.
Well, Guillermo directed the Hobbit movies, which explains why those movies are so fun.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Did not know that. I haven't watched a single Hobbit movie, though.
He did the screenplays.
Oh.
If you, not even. They're pretty good movies.
Yeah.
Right? The obvious argument of, well, the books were better exists, but the Hobbit movies are still pretty good movies.
Wasn't The Hobbit just a single book?
Yes.
This may be my best paint job yet. Nice, Congo. Yeah, I saw the picture on our Discord server. Thank you for posting that.
Yeah, that looked...
Saiba. These guys are swole. Alright. How the hell? So what the hell did I do? Log on to some channel. Okay. I'm gonna send... Give me your, give me your, you should have a username and a number. I'll give you mine. Here, I'll put it in the chat right now. So put this like add friend and put that in. And then when you put that in, send me a friend request and I'll send you an invite to the server. Okadoke. What the hell song is this?
I was thinking about the Marvel Night Models game for the first time in a while, and kind of sad they never got around to making a scroll scroll.
Yeah. Well, we are playing DC eventually.
I've got a lot of stuff for it. I didn't really realize how much I had until...
Yeah, well no, we both do, because we have enough Batman crossover stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we could start today and not have to buy a single mini. But you know that's not gonna happen. Where the hell's my bit driver?
Oh yeah,
Don't do this to me.
if we're gonna play, I want to pick up Doomsday at the very least.
I want to play Sinestro.
I knew you would. The instant I saw the model, I was like, I could buy that model.
Yes. I have
That's
to
just
play
gonna
Sinestro Core. Yes. Said your capitalization or numbers are incorrect. Okay. Well, in that case, give me your username and number thing, and I'll send you an invite. One Piece resin minis are my favorite things ever from Night Models.
Yeah.
They just made life so much easier. Alright, sir. Let me go ahead and send you an invite. Alright, so... Okay, so there we go. Sent one to you.
And it might be the fastest Night Models paint job I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's only like 2 or 3 different colors.
Oh, sweet. You could do a group DM. That's pretty dope. Okay, good to know. So next time I set this up, I can do that.
For sure.
Okay. Alright. Okay, and now let me shoot Canvas an invite to this. Okay. And where did he go? Okay. Alrighty, sir. There you go. There's the link to the server. And then once you're in the server, if you want to hop in the voice channel, head to the on-air channel. And there you go. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting.
You also want to run Hawk Girl, see Congo. Can I run Hawk Girl and Wonder Woman in the same list? That would get me to play the DC Universe game.
I have no idea. I know nothing about the DC Universe game.
Oh, let's...
Trying to get your mic to work? Alright.
Let's pull up. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, didn't want to look at the channel.
What?
It's not food for you. Ah.
If you are talking right now, Canvas, we can't hear you.
I haven't said anything yet.
Oh, okay.
There
Hey,
he
you're
is.
coming in fine. What's up, man?
Not much, not much.
Yeah.
So what happened to your missus's cat?
What?
What was that?
What happened to your wife's cat? Was it just old or was it sick?
Just old. It was, and it had, it would kind of had that, like, that onset diabetes just from being old. So it got really thin, drinking water all the time, puking, crapping everywhere, the whole cat diabetes thing when they get old.
Yeah, that is what happened to the miniature schnauzer we had. We had him for I don't want to say it, like 15 years, and then he got diabetes, and we were able to control it for a while up until we weren't.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been sick for a while, and we'd been kind of putting it off. Like, she didn't quite have the stomach for it yet. And then she made the appointment when I got back. So, he died happy. He died purring. That's good.
How old was it?
I want to say 19 years. Yeah, it's an old cat. And he lived a good life, Really, really sweet cat. So, she's been kind of depressed this weekend, so, which is understandable.
Yeah, it's never an easy decision to make.
I'm actually surprised that she was able to do it, because I didn't think she'd be able to do that. But that's good. And then my 4-year-old wanted to watch. He was curious. He wanted to see, what happens when the cat dies, that whole thing, because he's been asking about it. But then at the end, he got scared and didn't watch. So that's good. I wasn't sure exactly how he would handle that.
Yeah, it's probably better that he wasn't there.
So, Canvas, you doing any hobby lately, man, or what have you been up to?
Are you guys picking up? You picking up all the background noise?
Yes, we know everything that's happening in your house right now.
Alright. just wondering. No, at the moment, mainly just GW stuff. Mainly because it's the easiest stuff you get hold of, and I haven't actually played anything since our local gaming store bit the dust.
Ooh, that's
That
rough.
was about, 2 years ago now, since I've played it. Oh, maybe not that long. Basically since Mark III for War Machine came out.
Okay.
That whole fuck up.
Mark III has killed a lot of metas, apparently.
It was dog shit.
A lot of people are still mad about it. Like, Andrew was a big War Machine player, and he won't touch it.
Yeah, I'm over it. Hey?
That's a
I'm
bummer.
talking to nerds on the internet. What are you doing? Yeah. No, Ash, they can't see us. I wouldn't be sitting here with no shirt on if they could see us.
Wow,
It
why
is hot as hell here at the moment. It's so fucking humid.
When I get to that, it's like 5 degrees here right now. It's actually
Oh yeah,
52.
that's right. You're out in the desert, dude.
Yeah, like 52 and windy, and it is horrible.
That sounds terrible.
That's actually pretty hard for me to judge because we use Celsius over here.
Oh, let me look at the converter. Now I'm curious.
It's only about 27 here, which isn't super hot, but it's so humid So like the air just sticks to you.
Oh, yeah, that sounds awful.
Oh yeah, that'd be 80 for
It's
us.
like walking around wrapped up in someone's armpit rag.
Yeah.
Sounds like Miami. Miami in the summertime. So I have to go to occasionally. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to go to Miami this summer anyway.
Sounds like fun. I want to go to Miami.
If you're young and single, it's fucking awesome. If you're old and you don't give a shit, it's not that great. Although I do like Cuban food. It's my...
Have I ever had?
What sort of food do Cubans eat?
You know, it's a lot. It's not that. It's like a mix between, I guess, like almost like Haitian food and Spanish dishes. So you have like rice dishes with plantains. You have like some seafood and chicken dishes, and then you have what most people eat is like the Cuban, those pressed sandwiches, those pressed pork sandwiches. Those are Cubans. Those are delicious. I love those.
No idea.
And they love to walk around the beach topless, and they're fantastic. So I do like the Cubans. Cubans are fucking great.
They've got great cigars. That's all I know.
They do have great cigars. The first time I went to Miami, not the first time, but I went with a coworker of mine. He's from Wisconsin, so he'd never done anything like that. And we're walking along the Miami beach, and the Cubans would come up to me and start speaking Spanish to me because they just assume, like they just figure I can speak it. And finally, like this hot girl comes up and just starts speaking Spanish to me, and I just kind of throw my arms up and I'm like, sorry, I don't speak Spanish. And she walks away, and my coworker starts screaming at me, what the fuck is the matter with you? Why don't you speak Spanish? Yeah.
Well, if it's anything like Brazil, she might have had a dick.
That's true. Actually, that same trip, the first night we were in Miami, you know, we went out at night and we go to this Thai restaurant, and it's still early. Like people in Miami, they don't go out until late, right? Because their clubs are up till like 5, 6 in the morning. And we were eating Thai food, and this lady comes in and she kind of looks at us, and then she's like complaining to the service staff of how lonely she is and all this other stuff. And again, the guy from Wisconsin is like, "Oh, we should party with her." And I'm like, "That's not a her, dude. That is not a her." And it's hard to tell with with Southeast Asians, right? Like Thai or Cambodian or Filipino. Like it's hard to tell.
Well, where I am in Perth, well, Western Australia, one of the closer places to holiday here is Bali, and apparently it's got a very high quota of he, who, she's.
Yeah.
And you've got to be quite careful. If that's not your ball game, then you've got to be pretty careful. Otherwise, go for it.
Yeah. That seems to be pretty. It seems to be common with like those islander cultures. Like the Samoans have a whole kind of thing where there's certain people that they're men, and then they live a certain part of their lives as women. And it's like it's like an accepted part of the culture. And then there's also Philippines has tons of those. They call them the lady boys, or they have all. Yeah, that's not a terribly uncommon thing.
So you're not still in the Philippines, are you?
No. Yeah, there's.
How long were you there for?
Just a week.
Ah.
And which is like really not enough time to do anything in the Philippines. It's just enough time to run around Manila. still, it was fun. Got to meet a cousin that I never knew I had, and party with a bunch of rich people.
Oh, you were there for your dad's wedding, weren't you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, my dad married into this really large, affluent family over there. So he's still vacationing over there. Like some of the places that he's at right now, because they're doing the actual like the honeymoon shit right now, and it's fucking amazing over there. Have you ever gone over there, Camus?
No, the only other country I've ever been to was South Africa to visit relatives, and the less said about that place, the better.
Yeah,
about not to interrupt, but Pongo says about War Machine Mark III. Show me on the doll where Mark III touched you.
Oh, in let's see, how do I put this? I don't have a witty comeback for that. I just really didn't enjoy it. The weird thing is, it didn't even change all that much, but it was such a rushed. It was like a reactionary thing. The fact that Mark III came out, and when it did come out, there was a lot of really big imbalances. I'm sure they've fixed them all now. Well, I'm sure they've addressed some of them, but there still seems to be a lot of, they'll fix one thing and that'll just throw a whole lot of other shit out of whack. And then they'll fix that and that'll throw a whole lot of other shit out of whack. Basically, if you're not playing with the 3 or 4 models of your faction that's good that month, you kind of boned.
Okay.
A lot of retconning just always happening from what I don't know what it's like now. Like I say, I left a lot of the Facebook groups for War Machine just because there was so much of it going on. It's just like, damn.
I haven't seen a game of War Machine played here in a while. And there was a somewhat active meta here. I haven't seen. It's been a long time since I've seen someone playing War Machine. And that, like I said, Andrew was a big War Machine guy too. Like a big War Machine guy. Yeah,
no, dude, I loved it. Mm-hmm. I've probably played more games of War Machine than any other thing at all, like minigame wise.
Oh wow!
Like by far, like probably 3 times, 4 times more than any other thing. Because we were a group of friends and I were just playing it non-stop. Like I say non-stop, but we're getting about anywhere between 5 to 10 games in a week, per week, which for me is a hell of a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of gaming. Yeah, that's a bummer. I mean, but a lot of people like we're seeing more people like get into stuff like Guild Ball because they're done with War Machine. It's like, oh well, this is similar. We'll play this.
I did make that transition. I played Butchers for a while. Mm-hmm. But then, like I say, the game store where we played all our games, that went tits up.
That sucks. I was hoping to see some Guild Ball in the Philippines, because there was there's a YouTuber, the Pinoy Wargamer, who plays in the Philippines, and I went to the hobby shop that he used to film from, and it basically had just turned into a magic shop. Like they cut the shop size in half, so there was really no space for miniature games anymore. And then they had all the Mark III, they had the War Machine stuff all like just shoved in a corner. So I guess maybe Mark III killed their meta as well, which wouldn't surprise me. But that would
Dave,
suck.
Hear me yet?
Oh yeah, yeah. There you are. What's up, Dave?
Ain't working. Still trying to get my head around this new laptop.
Okay.
That was a decisive answer.
Yeah.
Is shit fuck.
Like you guys were saying, I used to play with a lot of War Machine as well, but the people that I would play with, they went like, and we're all in the Team Canada team.
Oh, dude.
Oh, wow.
Same here. The guys I was with were in the WA team. One of the guys, Ben Leaper, he came second in the world a couple of years ago.
Oh, nice.
You've heard of Bubba Dalton? He's a good friend of mine. He's like really up there too.
Not sure if that's familiar.
The guys from Team Canada, it's crazy good. No fun
like,
playing it anymore.
No, exactly. I mean, you set up your dudes, and basically they just look at it and they've already know how they're going to beat you.
You're not the first person I've heard that from.
You're
Like, they're
basically
just-
beat by the end of their first move.
Yep.
That's crazy.
But then, I mean, that's War Machines has always been sort of geared towards that
Yeah.
hyper competitive, just get in there and just destroy them. I'd say play like you got a pair, but you don't want to offend people.
How dare you play like you've got a pair?
Dare you not
They
just
play it,
constantly
they've got
paid
4
by
pairs.
everybody around you?
They don't even like talk in terms of that anymore, right? Like that's not even. They kind of nixed that from the War Machine vernacular.
I have no idea. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's one of those things that seems funny, but then you look at it from an outside perspective, like, oh yeah, maybe that's not the best idea.
Or you don't give a shit.
True.
Alright, so okay, airbrush is coming on, so apologies for the noise here. Let me figure out where I know I'm gonna use some of these guys. I'm just not sure. I'm gonna run some of them with Hatter, but I don't. I'm wondering if I should start a Penguin crew or Luthor, something like that.
If you start a Penguin crew, it has to be Danny DeVito Penguin.
Yeah, I do want to run Danny DeVito Penguin.
I will accept no other versions of the Penguin.
No, they don't
Is there a
have
reason for that?
they don't have Burgess Meredith Penguin, do they? Because I would run that. That would also
Is
be
that-
a cool.
Is that the Gotham Penguin?
No,
The original
that's
Penguin.
the 1968 Penguin.
Quack, quack.
Yeah,
No, I haven't seen.
that would be awesome.
You have Emperor Penguin, Archetype Penguin, Danny DeVito Penguin,
Yeah, he's got to have this figure out in the folder.
Gotham Penguin.
Yep.
You ever tried to watch the original 68?
Oh yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, and listen to what Robin says. Oh no.
I loved that show when I was a kid.
Watch it again and actually listen to what Robin says, and it's like he's super disgusting.
Danny with Penguin. Oh yeah. Need a Penguin. Good for her.
I remember I used to watch all those shows. I used to watch the Lou Ferrigno Hulk and Linda Carter Wonder Woman, and even the Spider-Man
God.
show.
I
The Peter
have,
Parker hit.
I have watched.
Spider-Man where he could fly.
I have watched Linda Carter Wonder Woman. I've seen clips, like GIFs of Spider-Man 1 because
Yeah, that show was terrible, but I liked it anyway.
Did you ever used to watch Automan?
Used to watch what?
Automan, where he was the computer program and his car used to drive at 90-degree angles when it turned corners.
No, I never saw that. Sounds awesome. Speaking of Spider-Man, I do want to build that night model Spider-Man that I have and run him in Batman. I have a Spider-Man and a Daredevil.
Are there rules for Daredevil in
Yeah.
Batman?
Yeah.
Huh.
Ah, I'm running out of primer. Oh man. But yeah. Yeah, I was really hoping to play some like Guild Ball in the Philippines with some of the locals, but no one played miniature games anymore. Ended up playing a game of Guild Ball with Jose. Just so we could say we played in the Philippines. What's that?
I bet they're real expensive over there.
No, not really. I looked at the prices of the minis. I mean, all they really carried in the shop was War Machine, and it wasn't too bad. But, you know, everybody was playing card games over there. I guess Magic is big there, Destiny is big there.
So the exact same thing over here.
Yeah.
It's a bit disappointing. I mean, to each their own, but it's still a bit disappointing.
Okay. There we go. Let's start getting some color down on these guys. So you doing any painting, Dave?
My Massive Darkness stuff.
Oh,
I'll
okay,
get
cool.
that finished.
Nice. I was supposed to be getting an Infinity commission, but I guess that one's not gonna happen yet. So I'll paint some more. I may go paint another Suicide Squad, and then just throw that on eBay or something.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Night model stuff sells pretty well on eBay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Of course,
It's not as
think
Go ahead.
would have to, considering how freaking hard it is.
yeah. Well, I think sometimes people some of the buyers aren't actually people that play the miniatures game, but they're just people that want to have, you know, some of these pieces. Like, I don't think these guys would sell very well. They'd have to be like known pieces, you know.
Yeah, that's true. All the new sets that I've seen on eBay, I haven't seen any Arkham City Criminal set.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have.
Alright, so now let's get a little light layer on these guys. So my potty-trained son is now really starting to enjoy shopping for miniatures. Because that was the deal.
The dragon end up you were painting today.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I didn't actually... I stopped at the end of that feed. Like, that's where we just left it. So, it's not... It doesn't have any brushwork on it. But it looks okay.
If it was for him, he won't know anyways.
It looks... I think it looks pretty good. Like, you might even... People might not even know that I didn't take a single brush to it. Because it's still fairly detailed.
This is for your son. He won't know if there's been
Oh yeah, he
work
doesn't
on
care.
either.
He loves it though.
That's the main thing.
That was a real fun stream to watch.
What's that?
That was a real fun stream to watch.
Yeah. Kid is hilarious.
Especially when he said, "Is this a flashlight?" Pongo and I both thought he said, "Is this a flashlight?"
He found one of Daddy's other toys.
Oh my.
Oh my!
Flashlight, huh?
You can actually afford those. I have to use a raw fish.
That's what all the Twitch money is gonna go to.
Yeah.
All gonna go to Ashley Madison.
Is it me? I mean, when I look at these guys, I do think like gay porn guys, right? I mean, I know guys in prison work out, but like that's a little too,
Yeah,
right?
that's
This is a little
bit.
too model-esque.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just. No, I'd say some of them definitely done some.
Right? I mean, this looks like catalog prison guy, not prison guy, if that makes any sense.
It looks like prison guy who's in here because he was busted at a shoot with a bunch of cocaine.
The calendar prisoner guy.
He was very popular in the joint, that guy.
Yeah, it's right here. He's right painting. He's doing a live stream. Yeah, it's live chat.
Like, look at, like they're all like the same height, and they're all like, you know, perfect musculature. This guy he's a little beefier than the other guys, but he's not like, you know what I mean, like fat workout prison guy. There's no like,
No function over form.
there's no like giant gut prisoner guy.
There's a calendar boy prisoner guy.
Yeah, Calendar Man, yeah. Damn, I should have kept that guy. He would have looked perfect with these guys. Oh well.
I guess you just have to buy another one.
Nah. I need to sell off a bunch of my Batman. I want to sell down to like, to where just I'm like the bare bones stuff that I actually play.
And then the cycle.
And I want
begins again.
to build something 100% resin. I want to have a 100% resin crew, but I don't know. It might be a while before they make a resin crew that I really get behind. Because if I were to do that today, it would probably be a Bane crew, and I'm not that interested in playing a Bane crew.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a tournament at CQ today.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was happening.
They had like 5 or 6 people there.
Maybe it says other people buy the shoe we want before we can get to it.
It was like half the people were from San Diego and the other half of the people were like the Brookhurst people.
Oh.
It looked fun though. I was kind of bummed that I didn't get to go to that. But whatever.
Well, if they had enough turnout, then hold it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask Donovan if he's gonna do something for Kingdom Con. You know, so if we decide to bring our Batman shit to Kingdom Con.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, we don't even need a formal event though. We probably just because Corey's building that Walking Dead table.
Yeah, we could just get Blitz play Batman. I almost said Malifaux, and I don't know why. It's been many years since we've run Malifaux at Kingdom Con.
Yep. Well, there is Malifaux at Kingdom Con.
Yeah,
Right.
I played in.
Chrissy runs that.
I played in her tournament.
Yeah. That's cool.
It was nice. She surprised me when she started drinking from a Gatorade bottle that I think was filled with tequila.
Why is
Because
that surprising?
if I drank that much tequila, I would be dead. The next morning, I would just die.
I am not a fan of tequila.
Away from tequila. It starts going down like water.
Yeah. My buddy gave me it was like a $45 shot of tequila. Because he was like, you haven't had good tequila. And he gave me this shot. It's like $45. I paid $45 for this shot of tequila. And I drank it. It tastes like Axe body spray. No thanks, dude. That's good tequila. Forget it. That's it. I'm done with tequila forever.
Like olives, it's an acquired taste.
Some people really like it. But I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, one of my friends who used to be a bartender really likes it. And I just look at her and think, why?
Alright. Let's do...
Oh, I do really like vodka, and a lot of people say that that's too strong for them. I guess it
I can drink vodka. I've never really said, that's a really good vodka though. You know what I mean?
Oh, vodka tastes the same.
I've never really... I've had, I don't know, I mean, there's some that to me taste like straight rubbing alcohol. And there's some that taste a little less like rubbing alcohol. That's how I differentiate them. I'm like, that one's a little less flammable.
Yeah, it's not like, it's not my go-to drink, but I'll never turn down vodka.
Yeah.
I think my go-to has to be, well, now it's fucking coconut rum. That is the greatest thing ever.
Oh. It's about to get noisy as fuck for Canvas. I hear
Could be worse. You had
some
Jose.
kids. Yeah, where's Jose? This is usually time of... What's it time? It's early in the day for him over there. It's
Maybe
really
he's
early right
running
now.
errands.
Is it like 6 a.m. or something over there? I think he's, I want to say he's maybe an hour ahead of Canvas.
Hey, you say hello? You give a meow? Are you gonna meow for me? Oh. Hi. Sometimes lately he just gets into these really chatty moods. Or just sits down and meows at me, and I meow at him, and he meows back.
This cat, meow at it, and it starts meowing back.
Alright. Some jokes or
Yeah, the music is back. You have to join. Canvas personal hell. So you're going for sure tomorrow, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Sweet. I should be there for at least a game.
Yeah, I get why you can't hang out.
Nice.
Don't tell me around now.
This may be the single easiest Batman miniature to paint.
Oh yeah, because it's like 2 or 3 colors.
There's orange, and then not orange.
Just sad.
Oh god. I hate this song too, Canvas. This song drives me crazy.
Salem, stop. Hey.
It just sounds like someone's beating a cat to death. It's just the quality of her voice is awful.
It's like somebody's beating a cat to death.
That's what it sounds like to me. It's just not a good song.
That's weird. I don't hear any music.
Well, if you're in the voice chat, you won't. If you're
Unless
watching
you,
the stream, you'll hear it.
What I like to work is I turn the stream off and just use Discord.
Yeah. That's the way to go if you don't want to hear the music. There, he's basically done. Really nothing to this guy.
It's just muscle.
He's just orange guy. And this dude is just pants. Right?
It's
just
his pants.
Is it just his pants? No, most of him is orange too. He's like, and I'm a Capricorn. This guy's amazing. He's from the floaters. Float on by the floaters.
Fetish.
Which is a great song.
Is it like good song? Like it's good, or is it a good song?
It's a pretty freaking epic song. Like, it's basically these, like, soul guys that just introduce who they are and what their zodiac sign is and what they want in a woman. That's the song. There's, like, like, other than the chorus, there's not a lot of actual singing in the song. Just, my name is Jib, and I'm a Capricorn. That's how the song goes. It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, that is kind of amazing.
I was bummed I didn't get to hear much Filipino hip-hop when I was over there in the PI, because I love that shit. That's amazing when they...
I'm amazed. I've never heard of Filipino hip-hop before.
Really? Oh, I had a Filipino hip-hop CD. It was called Kick the Can by the Kick the Can crew. It's fucking great, man. Loved it.
I think the can. Who?
Yeah. And their hit song, Kick the Can. It's great.
That sounds kind of amazing. That's not what I want.
I should run a crew of just these prisoners and the other prisoners I have. So just all prisoners. That might be kind of a cool crew. And just run them with Arkham Knight.
Yep. I mean, I'm always in favor of Jason Todd.
Or who else would be a great, like, just kind of like a one-off solo leader?
Scarecrow?
Scarecrow? Yeah.
I need to finish painting my Scarecrow so I can run him.
Okay, I'm out. Good night, Congo. Thanks for tuning in.
Nah.
Nat.
Oh yeah, that's bad. I
Alright. So let's get... What else would be a good crew? Arkham Knight or just AK Sniper? Or,
Yeah.
like you said, Scarecrow might be interesting. You could run Tetch with just prisoners, but that's not going to be nearly as good as having Rabbit in there, too.
Well, shouldn't you run Tetch with Rabbit and some prisoners?
Yeah, you could totally do that. But you might, at that point, you might as well add the Tweeds in there as well. Hold on a sec, I'm going to eat a little bit of popcorn.
Oh god, I have to be in for time. Oh god, this is gonna be bad for everybody. I wonder if CQ will have Avatar Colette.
I'd like to return to the classics.
Okay, here we go.
I think.
Oh, I need to find a like a brown, like a rich red brown.
I got one here.
Just send it over. That's not
Let me mail
bad.
it to you.
So mud brown, that's not bad.
I actually wanted to ask, did you still have that Adam West Batman?
I do.
Kind of tempted to shoot one up.
Well, you could try him out first. He is pretty damn fun.
What's it, Adam West?
Hey, what's up,
Yeah,
Match
Adam West.
Fixer? Welcome to the feed.
Fix our matches.
He fixes the matches.
All of them.
Is that the brown I want? That is the brown I want, isn't it?
This is not the brown that you're looking for. Or is it?
It's the brown I want. Sure it is. I'll be happy with it. Okay.
No, I'm airbrushing, so now you have to deal with
It almost
different
looks. I need a dark. I actually need a richer brown.
Do you have any Reaper paints?
I do.
I was looking for a richer brown in America. In California, you might want to go north a bit.
That was funny. Hey, zing.
Or maybe Malibu. A lot of rich people in Malibu.
Well, there's a lot of rich browns in this area. What?
It's just. I know that sentence was relevant
kind
to
of
the conversation,
like
but
brown.
it kind of came at a left field at the same time. Kind of amazing.
I think this might be a better undercoat than rust for this skin. I think that's better. I think it's better. Let's try it. Give it a shot.
Hey, isn't
Should work.
working. Always struggles with this blue, and I don't know why.
Oh yeah, that should work. For the most swole looking dudes.
They're the swollest of swole
This dude, he is quite the swole. Yeah, that's a nice undercoat.
Uses them.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Kind of got like a Bruce Willis look to him, this dude.
Not a
Run
bad
to
way
the
to
end
be.
of using.
What was that?
Not a bad way to be.
Yep. Come out to the coast, we'll have a few laughs. Looky. Yeah. He's swole.
Well, you know what happened to those prison showers. You gotta get strong.
He's like, this guy's like mini Bane.
He's training to be the next Bane.
He's Ban. Mini Bane.
Ban.
Bin. He had like a piece of flash that looked like a middle finger sticking out. Are you working on anything, Match Fixer? Doing any painting? Alright. Then you got the most Abercrombie guy ever. Such Fitch. Mini Abercrombie.
When Abercrombie goes wrong. What is that model's hairdo?
He
So
has
he
just
just-
like
Like he glued some like loaves of garlic to his head.
you made me spit on the mini. He's just he's got the same haircut as like the dude from Prodigy. On the fire starter. Here the fire starter.
What kind of you use nowadays?
What's that?
Using.
I missed the question.
What browner are you using?
Oh, what brown am I using? I am using mud brown. But it's really nice skin undertone.
Yeah.
Where did you come from? Where did you come from? Where did you go, Cotton Eye Joe?
Air. Okay.
Yeah.
But not air.
Oh. Just a really nice undertone.
It's a nice shade of fake man.
That's what you do when you're swole like that. Oh, whoops. Okay. No biggie. Alright. There we go.
Rob.
Oh. And this guy's just M. Bison. Oh shoot. You know I've been forgetting to do. Oops. I haven't sprayed their feet. They do. They don't have a lot of footwear. This crew. It's just feet.
Well, they are prisoners. And one of the first rules of prison is you're not allowed shoes. That
There we go. Feet are done. Alright. So now we're gonna... undercoat this dude, this boy here. Okay. I hope we hear back from Simon on Monday. I mean,
Where?
from my standpoint,
What is she
they just haven't shipped our last order during the sale. So, if they tell me it's going to be another 6 weeks or whatever, I'm still going to wait. Might
What's
is
this?
what the Simon stuff.
Oh, but I had to step away. Start the.
I was just saying, I hope they get back to me on Monday. But even if they say, like, yeah, we screwed up, it's going to be another 6 weeks before it gets to you, I'll be like, I'll wait. Instead of asking for my money back.
Yeah, as long as they.
Because at that
acknowledge
price, yeah, you might as well.
it. I mean, if the email just sits in an inbox somewhere and rots, then maybe ask for the money back.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a reply from the email from them too. They open up. I've got the Noble Warriors and the Cockatrice thing from Massive Darkness. Open it up, the Cockatrice is laying there and no wing.
Oh, wow.
How can you not miss it? It's right in your face.
It was their temp people. Or somebody disgruntled. Simon employee, maybe.
Somebody who just hates that cockatrice.
Yeah. Screw the Crocodile. They wanted to see that kit fail.
Cock.
They were offended by the name.
They just wanted to spread their Christian values.
Mike Bison.
Like bison.
You know that's where M Bison is from, right?
Yeah.
From Street Fighter. And they had to call him Balrog. But he's literally Mike Bison. Which is like the best name I think I've ever heard for a Street Fighter character. Alright. Now the tricky part. I'm gonna figure out what color should the skin highlight be? Because they shouldn't have gray skin. These guys should have tan skin.
Yeah, they've been out in the sun lifting weights, getting so swole, bruh.
Mm-hmm. They're out there getting jacked. So it needs to be like maybe tanned highlight, probably. That would probably work.
Sounds like it just.
Wood be too yellow. That might work.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try tanned highlight. That should work.
Oh god, something horribly wrong.
Where the hell is my tanned highlight? I usually keep like 2 or 3 bottles. There it is. Okay. Because it's a very common color for me, so I usually keep like 2 or 3 bottles of it. Okie doke. This music's getting a little too funky even for my taste.
We have reached a funk threshold.
Alright, try this. The guy with garlic cloves on his head.
Yeah, he's just glued garlic cloves to his head because he felt self-conscious that he didn't have hair.
He's trying to start a trend.
It's a good trend because, like, you have hair, and if you ever get hungry, you can just, like, pull one off and you have a snack.
I'm somebody's bitch, this guy. I have garlic in my hair.
Somebody's bitch.
It's from Half Baked.
Oh,
I'm somebody's bitch. And he's like bragging. Harlan Williams.
Now the worst part of painting ever, yellow.
Look at that. That's some swollenness right there. It's a lot of pack, dude.
His pecs are the same size as his head. That's his head.
They are. My job is to hold the gun. I hold the gun like this.
Hold the gun.
I hold the gun in the prison yard. I hold the gun like this.
Nobody can understand me. I was the governor of California. Hello.
California. I was watching Commando the musical again today. Fucking love that. Johnny and me. That movie's so damn good. It's like one of my favorite action movies of all time.
You see that thing Nelson put up on Facebook?
Yeah, the Commando. He was shooting the Commando scene. So there's that one extra in Commando, the guy with the mustache, and they keep reusing him to get killed at the end. And you have to, like, it was a challenge, like, to count how many times that guy dies at the end of the movie, because it's fucking amazing. Johnny and me. Alright. And this dude. So besides some like weird miscast on this guy's foot, that's actually not a miscast. It's just a piece of like chain on there.
Say, do you have another club-footed model?
Okay, that's pretty good. Johnny and me. All right, so now let's do some. Oh, I forgot to paint Mike Bison's feet. Mike Bison.
You cat.
I forgot. Go ahead, Mark. What a story, Mark. It seems like you're the expert.
I love just how much that sounds like Dr. Simpson.
You know, you don't have to say it. You just feel it. Alright. Let's see if we can get him to look. Kind of cool here. Really just kind of waiting to see if Jose hops up back on so he could tell us if he's alive.
He's running errands.
Yeah, why are you running errands? And I still don't understand that. Right? I mean, you're talking about a country of people that just wait on you hand and foot. Right? If you're from the States and you have enough money to fly over there, then you are, by default, you're a rich person in the Philippines. Because there's no middle class. You're either rich or you're poor. That's all there is to it. And so, why would you need to run errands? I don't understand.
He's just
I
a
still
very
don't get it.
strange guy.
What?
He's just a very strange guy.
Yeah, Jose, he's got like a path of existence that it doesn't, it's very surreal to me. I don't quite get his struggle, which probably makes me a shitty person because I don't understand. Because these are normally things that I take for granted or I just assume is easy for most people. Like if you're over there and you need something, basically you kind of just find somebody and you ask them, or before you even ask, there's like somebody assigned to you, you know, and like, oh, this is your guy, he takes care of you. And I don't know. Again, I don't. I'm very ignorant on the whole thing.
He's just more Filipino than you are.
Oh, he's definitely more Filipino than I am. There's no question about that.
He's so Filipino, he even has to wait on himself hand-in-foot.
He even has to do his own errands over there. Like that's just shocking to me. But I don't know. But that's true. Like I guess his existence over there, because he's, you know, he goes over there more frequently than I do. And so maybe when he goes over there, maybe they don't sort of opt for the same sort of hospitality options that I would opt for. It's like, oh, we'll take care of it ourselves. Maybe.
Sure.
Could be. I don't know. I don't know. Just weird. What? Like, even in that case, there's usually somebody that, like, even if you're like a semi-local, like you're there every year, you usually have family or close friends or somebody that just kind of helps take care of you when you're over there. Wow. I kind of had the opposite problem, where I wasn't really allowed to go run off and do shit by myself a lot of times.
Because they didn't trust you.
They're worried I was
You
going to
come
get
back.
kidnapped or something, yeah.
Well, we all
Something
know the
stupid.
story. We all know the Kingdom Come story of when you almost wandered off to In-N-Out. So maybe Jose told him, hey, don't let this man out of your sights. He will just fuck off to In-N-Out.
Which is
you'll-
incredibly
you'll just go-
dangerous over there, because there's no In-N-Out.
Try and find a game store, and then they'll never find you.
But yeah, they were like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I just want to go, let me just run around by myself. And like, no, we'll send you a driver. We'll send you a car. And like, I just want to go run around. They did not like
Sora.
that.
I did not.
They did not. They're not fans of that.
That is bullshit. They did not.
He doesn't need any more well, let's try a little highlight on this guy. Whoa! I hate that when that happens. Hold on. Let's try that. Yeah, I wouldn't trust me.
I don't even trust myself.
Yeah. That guy's gonna find trouble. Don't let him out of your sight. You're probably 100% correct. It's probably exactly how that went down. Oh, this is way too yellow. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Let's do a different color. But he has cousins over there. And I guess, like, his cousins were out partying, like, right by where I was staying. Which, see, that would have been fun if he could actually get out. Because he probably would have met with them, and then met with my, like, with my cousins over there. And that shit would have been fun. Because then we'd have, like, a pack of people running around.
A whole pack of Filipino.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, I had that anyway, but it would be cool to have, like, Jose's people there, too. I'm afraid if it was just me and Jose downtown, that for sure we would get kidnapped. Like, we would look like
True.
even more targets to be kidnapped. Because now it's
I would
two
also be
people that are
afraid.
lost.
I'd also be afraid of the decibels that Jose's people.
Yeah, dude. There are some loud Filipinos, but that's a whole other. Maybe they're descended from air traffic controllers, or
Yeah, they have the little lightsaber things.
you know, or they were like from a prestigious line of town criers or something. Like that could be a thing.
Just town crier.
Yeah,
Jesus.
they come from a long line of town criers. The line of Jose. They're like, oh, well, who do you have? Who does your town have for its town crier? Like, oh, never fear, we have someone from House Jose, so we always know what's going on in our town.
Like this is a fucking Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like
We
House
have somebody
Jose.
from House.
Like, what would the sigil would be, like a rooster, or You know, maybe a howler monkey or something. Could be something like that. That'd be amazing.
Jose the Howler Monkey.
House Jose. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Howlers are coming.
No, yeah, their words are, "Hear us now." Sounds are coming.
The decibels are coming.
I believe it, man. House Jose, they're like, yeah. How many men do you have in your army? Oh, we only have 5,000 standing men, but we have a contingent of House Jose that scream from the front lines, thereby doubling our number,
My ex's
spreading
friends,
fear
they
in our
were
opponent. What was that?
really loud too. I said my ex's friends were extremely loud.
Oh, I wonder if if they're also from House Jose.
They're also of the clan Jose.
I don't know. They were clowning or and insane.
That would be kind of amazing. Like his family's like known for that.
They only have 1,000 men, but they can reach a consistent decibel rating around.
There's like a famous battle where they screamed at a wall, and it shook the wall so bad that they had to lower the gate and let them in the town.
Hell, that broke the wall down.
Well, one time somebody fought against them, they all screamed so loud, and it was like the Martians in Mars Attacks when the graveyards broke.
Dang. Jose's uncle was pretty rad though, cause he was yelling at me, but that was like his way of like being humorous with me.
It was his way to show you that he accepted you into House Jose.
Yeah, by yelling directly at me. And he wanted me to find a wife for Jose.
You
But what
find
if
this man a bride!
Yeah, what if I found him a wife that was too quiet? And then their kids were just average, like mediocre
Turn
volume.
the volume up.
And Jose would be like, these children are not worthy of our name. They're not loud enough. But yeah, he should be getting back next Sunday, right? Yeah. Or this Sunday. No, he's getting back this Sunday. So hopefully he'll go to the Guild Ball thing the following week.
Jose? Maybe that's why he's not on chat.
Oh, that's true,
Hopefully
huh?
he went back in the hospital.
Yeah, because it's Sunday. It's currently Sunday morning right now, so he would be flying back right now.
Yeah.
13 hours difference, so it's like afternoon there.
If we rounded it up to 11, which we might as fucking well, it'd be 12 there. 12
Yeah.
a.m. So yeah, it'd be noon.
13 hours.
So he'll
here.
be. Yeah, so he should be back tomorrow morning. He should have landed. And as long as they, let him through immigration in LA, he should be fine.
I mean, he is
Hopefully.
now a spawn monster, so
You know, when I went through immigration, I got back last week. And they make you go through, like, you have to go through this, like, automated teller line where you check your passport in and everything. I walk up to the machine, and the machine they sent me to was in Spanish. So it's like my first contact in the United States was not in English, it was in Spanish. And I thought it was like an additional test. Like, are you really from California? You better understand enough Spanish to get past this test.
Oh, from East LA, right?
Yeah,
The movie.
that was pretty. I just thought that was funny. I was like, this machine is in Spanish.
this one's in Spanish, that one's in Tagalog, which is like all three of the languages: Spanish, English, and
Oh yeah, it's actually easier for me to understand the Spanish one from living in California than it would be if it was Tagalog. That would have been awful.
yeah, I've seen people, I've seen people like post in Tagalog because for some reason Twitter recommends Filipino Twitters for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. It's like it's a weird language.
Well, it's a third of it Spanish, and like a tenth of it is English. And then there's some, kind of like a Malayan language that's kind of bastardized in there. And the problem with Tagalog is there's like 40 different dialects of it. So from one town to the next, the words don't exactly mean the same thing. It's not such a problem in Manila because
do like 5 different dialects. It's crazy trying to figure out what the hell are you saying.
yeah. It's in Manila at least, like it's all pretty uniform there, but when you're out in the province, it's like from one town to the next, it could be different. They could be speaking a different dialect.
Anything either anybody's saying.
So they have to speak, so even now, like in the province, they have to speak English to each other. I guess that's why English is one of the official languages, because it's like the only standardized.
As fucked up as Tagalog?
What?
Fucked up as Tagalog? Because none of it really can understand each other.
Yeah. But everybody understands English. They may not be able to speak it, but they all understand it.
That
I know. I
sounds.
forget what the word was. It's one word. It's either comes out as mother.
There's a lot of words in Tagalog that are just bastardized English words too. That they've just adopted. Like, for example,
Like I'm.
the hotel, or a ballpoint pen. In Tagalog, the word is ballpen because they just shortened ballpoint pen, and you just say it with an accent, and that's the actual word for pen. Ballpen. Do you have a ballpen? And that's it. That's legitimate word. Refrigerator is actually a Frigidaire because that's the brand that they had, and that's the actual word for it. Air conditioning is aircon. That's it.
That one makes sense.
They just shortened the word.
I
There
know
was
people in America call it the aircon,
Mm-hmm.
and actually aircon might have originated from, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
The hardest thing I find is if people are a lot, they try to speak English, they get their he's and she's mixed up.
Yeah. So
My ex, my son was a her, and and my daughter was a him.
him, her.
That wouldn't be a problem with the Spanish language, because you have to conjugate your shit depending on the gender.
Yep. So, what was I gonna say? So if you want, there's a popular brand of coffee over there. It's like this pre-made coffee that already has cream and sugar in it, right? And the brand of the coffee is exactly the phonetic sound of a person using the word coffee and mixing it with Tagalog to offer it to you, right? So when you say, like, if you wanted to offer somebody a cup of coffee in Tagalog, you would say, "Kopi ko," right? Like, that's like, because you can't, they pronounce the F like P, so it's "Kopi ko," and "ko" would be, "Do you want coffee?" essentially, right? That's the name of the product. They just took that, phonetically and spelled it out, and that's the name of the coffee. And when I first saw it, I was like, I thought it was Japanese because it's spelled Kopkio, like Kopiko. So I was like, oh, is it Kopiko, like Japanese, Kopiko coffee? But no, I said it out loud a couple of times and I was like, oh, Kopiko, like a Filipino is offering me coffee. And I was like, oh, that's how they came up with that name. And I asked the people there, it's like, is that really, is that how they came up with that? He's like, oh yeah, that's how they came up with it.
Not a lot bothers those Filipino.
It's true.
I've noticed that's a running theme in your story in the Philippines.
Like yeah, they don't care. Like that kind of shit doesn't offend them. They think that Filipinos think that their own accent is funny as hell. So a lot of their jokes like are based on that.
Well, if you can't laugh at yourself.
Yeah, they're really good about that. Like, and actually to a fault, you know what I mean? To the point where they're actually, some of them are legitimately like traumatized by their own accent. Like they're afraid to speak, like they'll be afraid to speak English to you.
Damn.
And that's part of, my parents, to the point my parents were so paranoid that I would have an accent growing up, and my brothers and my sister would have an accent, that they stopped teaching us Tagalog. Like they never taught me Tagalog. And I would ask them when I was a kid, I'm like, hey, can I learn? And they're like, nope, we don't want you to have an accent. And it's like, it doesn't really work that way, but I guess. Because that is an issue. Like, I come off like a massive douchebag over there because I don't speak Tagalog.
Won't speak English around you?
Oh yeah, they do, but it's just it can get uncomfortable, especially with some of the service staff or the drivers and stuff, where everybody has to take English in school, but maybe some of them didn't do well in it or didn't like it. I should actually just recut those, shouldn't I? Yeah, I should recut that. It's not even worth, well, whatever. It's fine. Yeah, let me cut that and spray the... Anything else I need to spray before I shut off the airbrush once and for all? I think with Jose it's kind of the same thing, but Jose actually understands Tagalog. He just doesn't speak a word of it.
Damn.
I don't understand it either, so I just make shit up half the time.
I seem to remember Phil saying he spoke it, but I might be wrong on that.
I think Phil understands some of it, from what he was telling me. He understands some Tagalog for being over there for an extended period of time, but I don't think he's fluent. It'd be cool if I could teach my kids that, but they are gonna learn Spanish. Is there?
They learn Spanish, they know half of Tagalog anyways.
That's true. But that's way more practical for them to learn Spanish.
Das ist true.
Whoa. That's fine. Whoa. Okay. I think I'm just about ready to stop the airbrush. There we go.
Everybody's sweet.
What's that? I did get everybody's feet. Alright. Well, that's cool. So yeah. Yeah, you can get a lot done on these guys without having to pick up a brush.
The running theme for models tonight.
You're what?
Is that the running theme for models tonight?
Feet?
The running theme,
Oh yeah.
not picking up a brush.
That's like how I do Guild Ball teams now. You do this amount of work on them, and then you come back and you paint the details in, and they're done.
Efficient.
Okay, get the wet palette out. One sec, guys.
Oh, I know.
Alright, so let's just go ahead and paint the facial features. But these models, I swear, they only have like 4 colors on them. And I'll figure out what crew I'm going to put them in, which is going to default be all of the crews, but all the bad guy crews anyways.
Yeah, I was thinking of picking a few up to run in Ivy.
They'd be great with Ivy, I think, with a bunch of cheap plants. And then, you know, pick 1 or 2 out-of-faction henchmen to run.
Yeah.
Did not.
I did not.
Did not get enough of his face, but that's okay.
I did not.
These guys have some tiny little eyeballs.
Aha. God.
This guy's too busy trying to be buff. He's being too swole. Like how this would be.
I'm just really excited about it getting Zatanna on the table now.
Yeah. Who are you gonna run her with?
Oh, well, she can only run with Brave and the Bold right now, so I'm kind of bouncing between whether or not I want to run her in that Young Justice list, maybe field her with Jason, Pod, not Blood, maybe Dynamic Duo too. Throw Cat
Oh, that would be kind of cool. Yeah.
Just because that's like, I looked at it and I think it was like 5 or 10 points away for being exactly 350.
Oh, nice.
I could also run her in what I call Dick Grayson's Respecting Whammons.
Dick Grayson's Respecting Whammons.
Yeah, it's just Dick Grayson and a couple Whammons.
Okay.
A young researcher asked me the other day if we are really on the
But it does have the
form of human evolution. A human
Damn, this guy's eyes are freaking tiny.
power. Ha, a typical romantic. All you
He's got
scientists
that big
are.
forehead.
I don't think you're meant to like paint pupils in that. That's a way too small. He has a tiny little head, dude. His head is like way smaller than his body.
It's kind of weird. I
He's
kind of
like
like
a pinhead, dude.
I kind of like the Mad Max face fucker he has on.
Yeah.
Wow. This is the best song. Because sometimes it just goes, wow.
Alright. Do not know.
I think paying for Spotify Premium was the best decision I've ever made. So much music on here that's not on.
I was like,
iTunes.
That's cool.
I mean, most of what I listen to is like anime shit anyway. And there's a lot of that on here.
Oh, cool. Man, these are some teeny tiny eyeballs. What time do you think you're going to be at CQ, Mark?
I want to get there around 11. Maybe just like a hair later, because I'm going to stop at Dice before I go there and get lunch.
Oh, cool. Okay. So, like, basically right as it's going to open.
Yeah. I mean, that's assuming that traffic is good.
Yeah. Ah. Yeah, I cannot believe how tiny these. These are smaller than the Malifaux 10 Thunder Asian guy eyes.
Damn. I feel a little bit racist because when I painted those, I could not. I went back and painted some of them again. I could not put eyes on them. I just did like black slants.
Yep. That's what Painting Clinic told me to do. Tony? I was like, Tony, how do you paint these eyes on Jan Lo crew? He's like, just don't do it. Just paint black slits in. I'm like, but I don't do that.
You either have to do black slants or you have to do big anime eyes. There is no in between.
Yeah. Let me see if I can actually... I mean, I don't even know if the studio art did actual eyes or if they just used like a wash.
If I remember correctly, the studio artist just does the black slant / wash thing. That's why I always feel a bit extra proud of my Malifaux work, because it always comes out looking just a little bit better than the studio art.
But like, if you look at this packaging, you can't even see their eyes. I don't think they... Because I don't think they do their eyes either. It's just not very practical.
No, I don't think they do. I'd be surprised if they did.
Yeah, that's about as good as that's gonna get from me. And there's no way you can see that.
What? Why can I run Zatanna? Oh, there she is.
Are you doing a hero builder right now?
Yeah, I was looking at running Zatanna with TV arrow. Run. Why the fuck not?
Why not? Actually, those are really good pair of eyes there. You'd never know because you can't see it.
Peepers. Peepers. Take a look at those peepers. Wow, that's too many points. That's You're requesting for when I get my hands on a Colette avatar. I will find one, damn it.
You want a Colette avatar?
I need him for proxy policeman.
I think either CQ has one or Brookhurst. For sure, Brookhurst has one.
Yeah.
That guy's got like that. This dude has like that OJ stare now. With his eyes painted in. That bitch Nicole cheated on me.
Actually,
Too soon?
if the glove don't fit. If the glove don't fit, you must
You must quit. Damn.
Do you know
That was
that I think it's Kim Kardashian's father was
Yeah.
on the defense.
Yeah. Robert Kardashian, yeah. That's the first I ever heard of that family. It was from that trial.
Yeah, and I wonder if somebody was paying them massive kickbacks for it or not. But, that's just me being a weird conspiracy freak.
Did you watch the Netflix movie about that? Or whatever?
No.
Lizzie watched that. I remember actually being my first or second year of college and watching the actual trial go down. And just how weird it was at the time. Like if you thought OJ was guilty at the time, you could never say that out loud. It's the same thing as like saying, it would be the same thing as saying like, oh, I like Donald Trump in California. Like you can't say that out loud. Somebody's gonna firebomb your house. Similarly,
Yeah.
you couldn't say, back then, you couldn't say, I think OJ is guilty. You would automatically be considered a racist or, like I said, somebody would come and firebomb your house if you said shit like that.
At least with Donald Trump, you earned that firebombing.
I don't know, man. It seems religious to me. I mean, I don't like the guy, but I think the whole I'm gonna turn up my nose at anybody who has anything positive to say about the guy. I think that's the same place that religious bigotry comes from.
Yeah, I never seriously believed that.
But there's a lot of people
fun
that
joke.
believe that.
Yeah.
If you say that, like I said, it's like the same thing with the OJ trial. If you said, I remember too, because like there were some of my friends at the time, they were like, we think he's guilty, and like if you if you say that like to the wrong people, you're gonna get fucked up, and then But the funniest part about that was like right after. Then a bunch of people were coming out and saying, no, we do think he did it. Like almost maybe 3 months after the trial ended. I remember seeing people celebrating out in the streets, right? Like black people were out in the streets celebrating that. And then the same people, like 3 months later, were like, no. Well, we think he did do it, and And it was cool because the movie kind of covered that. Because that's really like, you look back now and everybody's like, oh, everybody's sort of looks back at it like, oh, he's this was just a case of a celebrity that got away with murder, right? And they remember it that way, and they're like, oh, I remember thinking he did it. I'll be straight with you. I was like, oh man, because at the same time there were a lot of like public cases out This is like around the first time that Michael Jackson started to come out, that Michael Jackson was touching kids, and I forget who else. There was a Magic Johnson had just come out HIV positive. That was a big thing a couple of years before that. And then you had some other athletes, like you had a lot of basically you had a lot of black celebrities that were under fire one way or another in the media. You had Martin Lawrence, who went fucking crazy, who had like a sexual harassment suit against him, and then he was out in the street, and they caught him high running around with like no clothes on. So if that's all you were following at the time, you would think like, oh, okay, this might just be another one of those setups, right? Because they don't want us to pay attention to, the situation in Iraq, Kuwait, and all that. So at the time, I would say I wouldn't rule out the idea that it was some kind of like government conspiracy, as ridiculous as that sounds now. But I'm not going to be one of those people that goes back and looks back at history and says, oh yeah, I would have been on the good guy's side. It's like, fuck you, man. You don't remember what public opinion was, and chances are you've been on the wrong side of shit a lot more than you think you have.
Yeah.
But
I was pretty young. I remember, partially because I was so young, just agreeing with everybody said, oh, MJ's guilty. Whenever would talk about him. And then looking back, it's like, well...
Oh, God. I remember, like, my white friends could not say it. Like, they could not say that shit. They were thinking it, and they might say that to me in private, but they would have got their asses beat if they said that out loud. Like, if they went out in the streets and said that, they would have got, like, fucking pummeled. But that's what and then, pretty much everyone these days agrees that they think he did it. But that's not how that was when, when that verdict came out. There was like widespread celebrations. I was joking the other night about, when the Lakers, when they're in the NBA Finals, if they win, LA has a riot and looting, and if they lose, LA has a riot and looting. It was like that all happened around the same amount of time. But yeah, I would be sitting here lying through my teeth if I said, oh no, I always thought he did it. No, I didn't. I was like, it could be a conspiracy, but I don't know.
Hey, Zach, I'm gonna hit the hay. I'm beat.
Alright, dude. Have a good one.
Hey, you two. Talk to you whenever the next time is.
Yep. But yeah, that was some crazy shit.
I think the thing that, looking back at it, kind of perplexes me the most about the Michael Jackson situation is I don't think, from an outside perspective, I don't think there's enough to say he did or he didn't. I also think that he was a very, very, I don't want to say damaged human being, but he wasn't, probably because of his fame from a very early age. He wasn't all.
I think he was a damaged person personally. Growing up under Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
And not really having a childhood, he didn't really actually have a childhood. He was basically a performer, and it was like beaten to death into him. And so, he was very delayed developmentally in that area.
And he never got the help that he needed, and that's partially why what happened to him happened to him, and why it was so sad is because it probably could have been prevented.
Yeah, for sure. I think my personal opinion on that is I don't know whether or not he did anything criminal with those kids, but I for sure he did things that were at the very least borderline inappropriate, and maybe he didn't understand that. You know what I mean? Like he didn't. It's like, yeah, he took naps with the kids. He slept in the same bed as the kids, but he didn't understand. In his psyche, he may not understand exactly how inappropriate that is, because he's just kind of out there. There's a side of me that says that.
Yeah, I think around that time there was this kind of... Well, there's always been this sense in the media where it's either good or it's bad, and there was no in between.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case for anything.
Yep.
I mean, you look at cases like Michael Jackson. It's how much blame can you put at him for taking naps with kids and acting a little bit inappropriate if he wasn't able to understand that what he was doing was inappropriate.
And you also have, but the counter to that too is you have the whole Jesus juice thing, right? Like, oh, he gave them. They're saying he gave them wine, that kind of stuff, and I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty damn bad. So, but for me, I'm still kind of split on that. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't true, but that was certainly floating around. So I would just say I don't know enough. I could buy either story.
Yeah,
but
the whole thing with that though is that I could buy that it happened, but again, there's a whole how much blame you put on somebody who doesn't know that what they're doing is bad, and also it seems just a little bit too convenient to me that that's something that can't exactly be proven.
Yeah, it's true. And the other thing to point out too, again, I'm just playing advocate. I'm not trying to like defend a potential, pedophile or anything like that. At the same time, we forget that in the late 80s and the 90s at least, there was this huge scare. There was a huge public scare about Satan worshippers that would come and take your kids, and there were black hoods and robes, and they would come and molest your kids. And the only way to find out would be to be an adult in a therapist chair, and they do hypnotherapy, and they reveal all these weird, kinky things that your parents supposedly did to you.
Yeah, regressive,
right? So
therapy.
Yeah, so they did all this repressive therapy, and I remember, my dad's a psychiatrist. I remember asking him at the time, I'm like, "What's your take on this?" And he's like, "Well, at least half of that is absolute garbage. It's absolute bullshit, and it's suggestion."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, I was like, "You can't go out in public and say." And he's like, "I can say that. I'm a fucking practicing psychiatrist. These people don't. The little armchair therapists, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, and this is extremely dangerous what they're doing, because it's it started at the time. It started a witch hunt where people were going after their own parents and shit over repressed memories, and they're not even sure if those were true or not. That's some fucked up shit, man."
Yeah, that's why I've always been wary of hypnotherapies, because there's no possible way for anybody to know if it's suggested or if it's really there.
Yeah, you're in a suggestible state. The way my dad kind of explained it to me is like, you're in a suggestible state, and if you want to believe something like that happened to you, you can just run with it. You can easily make up a vivid scenario where something is done to you and it's completely untrue.
I mean, sometimes that happens to people who aren't even hypnotized. To play devil's advocate it for a hot second. Memory isn't always reliable, and that's kind of the scary thing of being.
That's a scary thing.
The human condition.
Yeah.
Of being the human condition. Wow, that was a good sentence.
No, it made sense. I just remember like back then, and then people have to be reminded that was a thing. Like, oh yeah, that's right, because there were all these stories about it. I remember they would end up on you'd see these people show up on like Phil Donahue, I know these are a bunch of names that millennials don't recognize, but like Phil Donahue and Sally Jesse Raphael, even like fucking Geraldo. People would end up on Geraldo and say, "Oh, my parents were part of a devil worshipping cult, and they molested me," and all this other shit. And it turns out that wasn't true. There was just suggestible fantasy that these people had. They could never really find this sort of Satan death cult that was doing all this shit. That turned out like not to be a provable thing at all.
Oh, because the good ones hide it.
Well,
You can't
yeah, I
find
mean,
the good ones.
Well, no, at the time, what I said was like, no, if you want to find the cults that are out there molesting kids and taking women against your will, look for the Christian cults.
Yeah.
They're not like, there's no like Satan. That's how stupid it was. It's like you want to believe so badly that the bad guy is that easy to fucking identify, but
I mean,
it's never that way.
if I remember correctly, the Heaven's Gate cult was a Christian cult.
Well, like all of the worst ones were. Jonestown was a Christian cult. Waco was a Christian cult. Now that's a weird one because there's a lot of conflicting shit coming out about Waco too. But I mean, my point is, at the time, everyone believed, whether or not you were like a Bible thumping Christian or not. Everyone in that era lent some credence to this idea that there were rampant devil worshipping crowds that would go around in black hoods and snatch up your kids and indoctrinate the parents and make them do awful shit. And it's just not provable. This is this big, and the media used to run story after story after story of it, and none of it ended up being provable. That's just crazy to me. Like, wow, everybody bought that shit because we wanted to believe it.
I remember
And that's
adding to the Christian cults. I think the Manson family was a Christian cult too.
Yep, they were.
Since he died
And
recently.
I remember, I'm old enough to have seen and been handed out the D&D pamphlets. I just remember all of this kind of shit, and that's why, like, I'm deeply skeptical of stuff that's in the mainstream that is designed to kind of tug at your emotions and make you feel a specific way, and then it just causes you to do drastic or irrational shit. Because I'm like, we've seen this before. And it wasn't true. So, like, being skeptical doesn't mean you're a dick. It doesn't mean you're an insensitive asshole, racist, misogynist, whatever. It doesn't fucking mean that. It means, like, you've seen the pattern. And while you don't want to take away from real shit that happens, you also don't want to just start a fire where there shouldn't be one. So,
that being said, there are some cases where somebody does something so horrible that you can't really, that doesn't even factor in, like recently with the whole Logan Paul thing.
that doesn't surprise me at all, but yeah.
I'm gonna make a big asterisk note here and say that the subject of the controversy is one that's very important and affected me. But I saw somebody was making, well, you should forgive him because people earn second chances, and he said he's apologized. It's like, that'd be fine if this was the person that he fucked up, but
Yeah.
he went beyond humanity with that. That was beyond inhuman. And second of all, this isn't
Yeah.
the first time that he's fucked up.
Right.
I remember when his neighbors were trying to get a petition signed to have him move out because he was filming and
Yeah, I remember this.
infringing on
Yeah.
their privacy and ruining the neighborhood and all this other shit. Like, how many... Give people second chances if they earn it, yeah. But boo-hoo, Logan Paul had to leave the internet. Said he was sorry.
And and they also faked a death threat on him. No, I think that was Jake Paul. They faked an attack. Oh, they tried. My neighbors tried to murder me or some shit.
I was like,
Yeah.
I remember.
But the thing, like the Jake Paul thing was, it for me, it's like, okay, yeah, that was completely disgusting what he did with the dead body and all that. But I was like, okay, I could have played advocate for a hot second, except that I saw the rest of the footage that he shot in Japan. And I'm like, if you're that fucking disrespectful to the rest of that society, you don't get the benefit of the doubt here. You are a disgusting fucking person. Like that, you're a disgusting person, and you shit on an entire culture. And the part that still bugs me, honestly, is how complicit YouTube was in the entire thing. And that's why I fucking hate YouTube, because it's been case after case of not just Logan Paul, but other big YouTubers. They go over to, say, Asia, for example. Asia in particular. They'll go over to Asia, shit on that culture. Like, completely shit on the cultures over there. Completely just dehumanize the people around them, treat them like props, treat them like shit. And nothing happens to them, right? Oh, it's funny, it's funny, it's funny. And then, you know, if they were to go to another part of the world, let's say Africa, or the Middle East, or something like that, and they do something like, oh, well, you know, I refuse to, or I don't think it's cool that that they make women wear hijabs there, their channel would immediately get shut down for saying shit like that. And it's that kind of uneven-handedness that's like, that's not fucking cool, because you're either saying that, you know, YouTube is saying, oh, you know, we want to be inclusive, we want to be respectful of other cultures. Oh, you mean unless it's Japanese culture, right? Unless it's a culture that you don't care to offend. Because I've seen example after example of that shit, where big YouTubers will do ridiculous shit over in, you know, Japan or in Asia or in that kind of thing. And then, you know, again, and I'm not saying it's wrong. If you go over to the Middle East, you go over to Africa, you go over to other parts of the world, and you act like a dick or shit on their culture, well, that's not cool either. But in my opinion, it's both or neither, right? You've got to punish both or punish neither. And they have not been even-handed with that whole thing. So when they come out and say, "Oh yeah, you know, we promote diversity and we're all," like, fuck you. No, you don't. You promote specific diversity. You promote one set of preference over another one. That's not okay. And it doesn't matter if, you know, somebody was over in, because you could go to Ireland and you could act like a leprechaun and you could shit on Irish people. You could go to Japan and act like, and do your, you know, the little weeb routine. And don't get me wrong, I don't, like, personally, I'm not offended by it. But if YouTube is going to take a moral stance and say, we're offended by this, but we're not offended by that, that's where I have a problem. Like, it's both or neither.
It's also a couple of other problems with YouTube, and this is something more indirect, I guess, is that it's put so many people that have not had the experience and time to mature into such powerful positions like Logan Paul and Jake Paul and all the other bad drama channels. Like, at their core, they just haven't matured, and they don't need to, because they have millions and millions of fans will say that they haven't done anything wrong and won't call them out when they do dumb shit. Just they might immediately forgive them and forget the next week.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
Yeah, that's true.
And YouTube has always been horribly inconsistent.
Yeah.
It punishes the small channels for shit big channels get away with. And Logan Paul losing his I forgot what they call it, like advertiser preferred program thing.
Yeah, he
status,
lost some sort of tier there, yeah.
Is like, that's such a fucking piss weak move. That's like, why bother doing anything?
Yeah.
Like that means
Also, they
fucking
didn't
nothing.
do anything on the onset. They didn't flag his video. They didn't take it down. They didn't issue the strike.
The other,
like,
and that feeds into the other issue, is YouTube has all these problems with people filing spurious copyright claims and striking channels of critics and media they just don't like. And it's all automated by fucking robots. That's why the video didn't get taken down. Nobody striked it, so the robot never caught it.
The funny thing, well, the thing there is the channels that were giving commentary about the suicide video that he put up. They showed, you know, some of those videos showed clips of his video. Didn't show the body, but they showed clips of his video, and those channels got strikes. That's how uneven-handed it was. It's like, that's how fucking flagrant that, you know, I don't know if, I don't want to say favoritism, but yeah, favoritism, for lack of a better term. That's how ridiculously obvious it was. It's like, if you posted a commentary about his video, your video got demonetized, your video got a strike on it. The actual video that shows a dead body, it shows a guy, a dead body in the thumbnail, and shows close-ups of the dead body, got nothing from YouTube. It was allowed to get 6 million views, it was allowed to go on trending.
It was allowed to be up for 24 hours.
Yeah, and you can't tell me that something gets on trending and has 6 million views and there isn't somebody at YouTube whose desk that doesn't go past, right? I mean, I work in corporate America, and I know anything that big is going past somebody's desk, and somebody is saying okay to that. I bet my fucking life on that. That's how positive I am, because that's how you know, corporations work. We know if something's making us money, if something flags like that, then we're gonna watch it. We're gonna see what it is, and they were completely complicit in it. There's absolutely no way you can say, oh, well, we didn't know. No, that's bullshit. There was a live person that looked at that video and said it was okay.
At some point. That's why that
At some
happened.
point.
Whether or not it was direct as them deciding not to do anything, or them just deciding, we'll just see
Yeah.
what happens.
And the video
Yeah.
got flagged hundreds of times upon going up. And they
Yeah, there had
didn't
to
do
be.
anything about it until after Logan Paul took it down himself, because people were contacting him directly, and he was getting all that shit on Twitter over it.
Which he
So-
fucking deserved.
Yeah. So you can't tell. That's my major beef with YouTube. Not that they're morally wrong, but they're fucking partisan. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you're gonna claim to be moral this or that, but if you set up guidelines, then you better enforce them. If you set up rules and we see you punishing other people for minor infractions of the rules, and then, you know, here comes this guy and he's allowed to get away with it, that's where I take issue.
We also saw this, because I know this is going to come up eventually, we also saw this during the whole PewDiePie thing, when he said
Yeah.
the N-word as intended. thing that bugs me the most about that is that he admitted in his apology, yeah, I meant it as an insult. Like, I meant it as a derogatory term. And then nobody cares. Nobody says, hey, that doesn't make sense. That's not right. Wait a minute. It is, oh, well, he said he's sorry, so it's okay.
I don't know. I think he did quite. He took quite a bit of a hit for that.
He did, but
and if you're gonna go by that word, if you're gonna go by using the word as intended, like you could watch a number of large YouTubers, you know, from I would say from 2005, 2008 onwards, that use that word, that have used that word.
Yeah, it's not the same scale as the local thing, but it's the same.
But
yeah,
I see your point. It's ultimately it's just inconsistent treatment of large creators or popular creators versus small creators, or even just people that, you know, for whatever reason happen to be on the right side of shit. That or they happen to have an in.
Is it good enough for you? No. Is it good enough for you? Almost.
And with their with the new monetization rules that they put out, that kind of just shoves it right into the main front even further.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's them explicitly admitting, yeah, the channels that make more money are more important than you. Either get to that level or fuck off.
Yep.
I can see why the concept of taking everybody off of it, all smaller channels off of monetization, is where the good idea comes from. That because that's gonna hurt a lot of small-time drama channels too, and a lot of people who flagrantly abuse YouTube copyright system. But you could do that by paying people to look at these channels and pick out which ones are bad and which ones are good. It'll take a while, but all the fixes that are permanent are instant.
Yeah.
More and more it feels like YouTube don't want permanent fix. They want something that'll get media and people off their backs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not beholden to YouTube for anything. They probably owe me some money from back when my channel was monetized, but it's probably like 30 cents or something. It's probably
just not worth chasing.
Not worth it, yeah. And I was actually pretty happy when I shut off monetization on my channel here. So I didn't want to deal with that. Which is weird because my Twitch, I can now earn money on Twitch. So we'll see how that goes.
Did that go through?
I don't have big titties, but yeah.
Did
What's
that go through?
Yeah, I made the requirements for it. They're reviewing my tax documentation,
Okay.
and then
Yeah, I knew
and
you
then
made the requirements for it, but I didn't know if they had finished reviewing it or not.
no, that's gonna happen next week sometime.
Next week, like Monday, or next week, like 27th.
Oh, who knows? Your guess is as good as mine.
It involves government agencies, yeah.
Twitch is weird. It is definitely a different culture than YouTube. There's some things that I really like about it, and some things that I don't understand yet.
And there are people who just live stream themselves sitting around watching TV, and that gets views. I've wandered into the Twitch IRL section before. It's a weird place to be.
I'm gonna watch this guy watch TV. That's wild. But you know, if you have an entertaining personality, then people want to follow you. Or if people think your life is interesting, they'll follow you on social media. If you do interesting shit.
I mean, that's why the Kardashians are as famous as they are. People think they do interesting shit. I'm not saying I think they do interesting shit, but people do.
Yeah, a lot of people think, oh yeah, that's really cool. They're super rich, and their life is to act like idiots. And it's it's not terribly different than the royalty craze that the Brits have always had. It's a lot less refined than that, but it's very similar. Like, I'm a common person. I want to know what the fucking insanely rich, insanely famous person does. Like, what is their day like? Because my day's fucking awful. I want to know, I want to know what like, how Princess Di be getting married and shit. It's not a new thing. It's just sunk into new lows. Like, the requirements to be one of those surveilled people is consistently lowering.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I'm just happy people come check out the shit I painted. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, hey, he painted more things. That's it. I'm good.
Well,
you don't need to know my life.
Celebrity worship's always been a problem in the United States.
It's a massive word. Yeah, it's a massive problem.
I mean, for people people they follow where the Pauls and Kardashians go, just wanting to see them. Like, you what?
Yeah. Although, like, tweens and stuff, their parents take them there. They take them to those neighborhoods so they can go stalk their
Yeah, how
house.
can you okay this? This is stalking.
That's fucking weird, man.
That's literal stalking.
That is some weird shit.
I mean, I'll admit, when I did, it's like, there is a little bit of excitement when you do get to meet a celebrity that you happen to look up to, or somebody popular that you do look up to. Like when I met the voice actresses for James and Ari at Anime Los Angeles, I was excited about that. But I would never go to their houses and stalk where they go regularly to meet them.
Mm-hmm. But somebody will. You could be that guy, Mark. You could be that stalker.
If I ever become that guy, put me in an asylum.
Seems like you're the expert, Mark. Yeah. But that's, hey, fan is short for fanatic. People are fucking crazy, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anybody I would ever want to stalk. I don't think I find anybody that interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to devote that much time of your life to somebody. I get, following celebrities and stuff on social media, I do that. But I don't stalk their people.
The closest I get is Timok.
Well, he's your best friend.
Because
so
he's
that's
my best
okay.
friend. Everybody knows that. We're best friends.
Yeah, everybody knows that you and Octave and Timok are best friends.
He liked one of my posts, my Instagram post the other day, and I was like, "See, we are best friends." I think Timok is gonna be in. Why isn't Timok in Black Panther? Come on, man. Come on. Just saying. You need black martial artists to be in that movie? No one.
Yeah. Although, I mean, do we really want him associated with the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Garbage.
Yeah, no, I get it. But he would get paid.
True. And we get to see him in something.
What, I'm wondering, like, what superheroes could he be? He could be, like, he could have been Black Panther, but he's a little bit older. So maybe not. He could have been...
Well, Black Panther is the king, so...
Yeah.
It makes sense if he was an older person.
I mean, he's a little bit older. He's a little bit older than me. But he's in better shape than I'll ever be in my entire life.
Yeah.
And he looks... And I would say he looks at least my age, if not maybe even a little younger.
It's a bit like the Rock. He's older, but he's in better shape than I'll ever be in.
Yeah.
You could
But they put The
probably
Rock in
bet
fucking
him
everything,
Rock.
so... Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's
At
like
least
the
he's
proven
like-
formula. It's like, oh, well, just put The Rock in it and it'll work.
At least The Rock is fun to watch, unlike Will Smith.
But Will Smith went through that period of trying to like do these like hyper serious movies. Like he was like a big like high caliber, high art actor. That's when it was like, Fresh Prince, come on, man, come on,
Like,
Fresh Prince.
I was just talking to one of my friends about that movie. I Am Legend.
Yeah,
The movie is not that good.
I
It's like-
I never watched any of that, so I can't really say.
Its most
It just-
memorable scene is when the dog dies, and that's just lazy fucking writing.
well, there's a lot of that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Yeah, it's the quickest and easiest way to get an emotional response out of somebody. Oh, the dog dies.
Mm-hmm.
I Am Legend had some cool ideas with like the creatures and shit, but it was just an apocalypse film. That's all it was. It was just another zombie apocalypse film.
Do you remember the writer's strike from a few years back? When the Hollywood Writers Guild, they went on strike?
I know the voice actors are or were on strike. I didn't know.
The voice
I don't think I
actors went on
remember.
strike, yeah, they went on strike, but the Writers Guild, they went on strike. I would say this is like more like 5 years ago. They went on strike. That was the happiest fucking week and a half of my life. I was like, good, you fuckers, good, go on strike. You guys can't tell a goddamn story to save your life. You're awful, and you should not have your job. Go, and they're talking about going on strike again, and I'm like, please let them go on strike, please.
It's the
You
Hollywood.
guys are
it's probably-
so bad.
Probably the fucking Writers Guild that ruined Suicide Squad.
Oh, it is.
It's like you get Harley
Hey, what's
Quinn
up, Andrew?
Hey.
for ranting about how horrible
I'm like,
Hollywood.
that is something to look for. I will sit there, I will go out in the street, and if they're striking, I will go up there with a sign that says, thank you for not writing horrible shit. Please find a new line of work. Go on, go strike.
The
You guys
Hollywood
are awful.
writers ruined fucking.
You're
Star
bad at
Wars.
your job and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Just stop.
You ruined Star Wars. You almost ruined Harley Quinn. I don't know how you do that. That
Thank you.
concept. Just-
Well, it's because they want to make Star Wars the new Fast and Furious like series
Yeah.
where it just goes until the money runs dry, which it never will.
At
Yeah.
least Lucas, for better or worse, never made another movie.
Yeah. But people are begging for the prequels to come back now, based on like their reaction to the last. They're like, okay, those at least maintain the integrity of the core story, as bad as they were.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
It's
the
like-
thing is, theorists wrote better stories for Star Wars than the actual writers of Star Wars. Like, people who write
Yeah.
fan fiction
Well,
Yeah.
stories.
if you go back into the Star Wars expanded universe, there's a lot of really interesting stories. Like there's a whole setup dedicated to why there's only ever 2 Sith in the universe at one point, because it causes too many problems. They all try to kill each other, and it just ruins everything. And why the cycle of the Sith is a very different cycle of the Jedi, because the Jedi find an apprentice, they raise him, they fight with them. The cycle of the Sith is they find an apprentice, the master uses the apprentice to further themselves, and then either the apprentice overpowers the master and kills him, or the master kills the apprentice and finds a new one, and it's a cycle. And I think it's in the expanded universe, you can see the Emperor doing that. It kind of points out that the deepens the Emperor's character in the movies, because that's what he was doing with Darth Maul, and then Count Dooku, and then General Grievous, and then lastly Anakin.
Yeah, I think like they kind of dropped the ball. Like here's the thing: if in a main like big name Star Wars movie, if the Rose and Finn, it seems like it could have been written by a 13-year-old fanficker, you know you have a really bad movie.
If Rey comes across as a fanfiction self-insert character, get the fuck up.
Like, imagine, right? Like, it was a fanfic. Finn is speeding toward his death.
It's pretty rad. It could have been a rad scene right there. Yeah.
Such a good scene. What a good way to send off a hero, like a heroic sacrifice. Someone who started from the First Order and died fighting against it. Wow. Much more impactful than social justice worker purple hair.
Social justice worker.
Like social justice worker, like the purple hair.
It's true.
I'm supposed to make you care about me now, girl. Like, okay, like here's the thing, right? 2 gripes. First off, why do you watch half the ships being like going towards the space planet, get blown up, and then decide to sacrifice yourself? Excuse me? Like, second off, why wasn't it already a love character like Admiral Aardvark?
Akbar, yeah. Akbar, that would have been a perfect death. Admiral Aardvark would have been amazing. I would have also accepted Admiral Aardvark. Yeah.
I don't see why they didn't take a love character that's already established in the lore that
yeah, that would have been
likes.
a very good, respectful send-off. Like, oh, you know, we love this character. Freaking, we know he has to go, and we know we have to move the story forward. And it represents loss, right? You have to lose something like, oh, it hurts, but it's good, but it's, oh, man, like, it's supposed to be gut-wrenching. And it's like, oh, well, we didn't give a shit about that bitch anyway. Like, what a
Once you see this... You see they do that again in Rogue One. You're supposed to care about these scrappy rebels that get the Death Star plans and save the day for their heroes in the future, but you don't care about any of them.
Yeah, you don't care.
You know
like,
what happens. They fucking die.
But the thing is, I feel like Rogue One was better than anything they put out so far because it was a story about the underdogs. Like, if you really pick apart the new, like, what is not going to be a trilogy, it's definitely not going to be, like, Disney loves money too much.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing. Really an underdog story versus this new franchise is trying to play the rebels as underdogs, which they are not. If you think about it...
Characters in Rogue One also had a beginning, a middle, and an end. She goes from plucky girl who hates the Empire to helping the rebels to being, like, the rebel hero, and then she dies in a very, you know, I'll say we don't care about her because she dies. That's true, but within the universe, it's a very heroic way that she dies.
Yeah.
And it's actually a really great story about heroism. And
it's a good character arc.
I mean, she's not a great character, and it's not a great movie, but it's a good character arc, and it's an example of a real character.
It's a coherent story.
Like
that has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Octave said this on stream before, but franchising kills movies because they're not beginning, middles, and ends. They're beginning, middle, 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 middle.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
But one thing that I didn't like about Rogue One, and a lot of like Star Wars fans kind of disagree with this, but if you really, really think about it, her name is Stardust or whatever, I can't remember.
Twilight
Fucking
Sparkle.
Sparkle, Brony, Princess thing. Well, I don't know what her name is, right? But like,
Yeah.
that girl, right? Jyn Erso. There you go.
Yeah.
Jyn
Yeah.
Erso never had to make a hard decision in the movie. If you really think about it,
Yeah,
the
it's true.
hardest
She was just
decision
kind
that
of-
she made. She was just going with the flow. But the hardest decision she had to make was stepping off of the prison cell carrier.
Yeah.
Her
It's
movie.
legit.
And the thing is, it's not a hard decision. It's like, do I want to go to jail? To not go to jail.
You're saying there's no real moral conflict within the character. She just like,
There's
oh, well, I better just fucking do this. That's true.
Exactly. And what we're witnessing is just through her eyes, the adventure that is unfolding, but she never had to make a hard decision, which takes away from the film for me.
Yeah, but that's kind of what, at least that's what the original trilogy kind of occupied too. And maybe not to the same extent.
There were
Well, no,
there are
Luke
plenty
has
of
to
parts.
decide. Yeah.
Yeah, there are plenty of parts where you see Han Solo having to make difficult decision in A New Hope to come back and save his friend, and you have Luke Skywalker having to come to the decision to go see Vader and try to save him from the Emperor. Like, there are opportunities they have where they could have just walked away, and but they end up having to make a real sacrifice, like his training. Return of the Empire Strikes Back. He's in the middle of his training. He's like, he has a choice. He could go try to save his friends, but that would basically give up his ability to become a Jedi. Yeah, so I mean, the characters have conflicted moments where they have to make choices. So I see what Andrew's saying.
Yeah. I guess
Even
that is
says, like, and this is where it actually mattered. Like, Vader said, "Come rule the galaxy with me."
Yep.
Been like, shit, that's a good idea. I get to rule
Shit.
the world, like the
They
whole
should put me in
universe.
that movie, man, because that's exactly what would happen. He would be
Your
like,
dad.
join me, and I'd be like, oh, Dad. Yes, Dad. Yeah.
Oh,
Can I get that dope suit too, man?
Like, that's the thing. It would literally be like offered you, Mark, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can own the entirety of the Milky Way. Do evil things. Not even technically evil. You just have to not fight against them. You have to let their evil trade go through. It's like if I gave you a button and told you if you push this button, it would end world hunger.
Mhm.
If I said you don't, you will get millions of dollars, right? Day in your life.
Mhm.
And shit, you might even get immortality, because that's what the dark side knows.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody
Who's
touch
that?
this button.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
would
you
you
get the fuck away
touch
from
that?
this button.
It's like, that's
I
the
remember
thing.
when they
is
made a
like,
movie like that. You push the button and you get your wish, but somebody dies.
yeah, someone random you have, like, it could be anybody, you know?
And it tried to be like some big,
I remember that movie.
well, your wishes have consequences. Like, yeah, but who fucking cares? It's not a talisman. Who cares if some random dude at the florist gets into a car accident and dies? I fucking don't.
Like, statistically, that shit would have happened anyway.
Well, like, here's the thing is, have you guys heard of, I think a more aspect of that be careful what you wish for is, I don't remember what it's called. I think it's like the monkey claw or something. It was like originally a play or a book or something like that. This woman who was cursed by this item to this family and says, oh, it will grant your wish, just be careful what you wish for. in the beginning of the film, or like whatever this is, book or form of literature, right? Oh, she's like, oh yeah, I wish I could have an extra arm. And the person that gives them this item, he portrayed the shock on their face, made that so much more interesting for me, because it's like, can kind of guess that like, oh, this is going to turn out bad, but how is it going to turn out bad? And so like one of the things that happens is, we need extra money, like, you know, like some dumb wish like that, like just simple, we need extra money, right? And how they get this extra money is their son works at a factory, and then he dies on the job, and they end up getting to work in his comp.
Yeah, it's always like some fucked up, like, sacrifice, for lack of a better way to describe that.
Something that we're all familiar with. Fate Zero touched on that too.
Yeah.
At the end of it, his wish was to save humanity. And the girl's like, great. Humanity destroys itself. Ergo, the way to save humanity is to kill humanity. Like, that is great writing.
I think another like good form of writing that I liked was Watchmen, in which the way to unite humanity was to give them a common enemy.
Yeah.
Meant the sacrifice of millions of humans.
To weave it up again, that was the writing theme in Code Geass. Which is a really good anime. It starts off as I'm rebelling against the Empire, and then as it prolongs, his whole plan from the start was give the world a common enemy, me, and then have that enemy die.
Code Geass is a great one.
It's so much shit, but it's got such a great arc in it.
Moments where it's like, this is definitely an anime. But if you really listen to the story and what it's trying to say, it's got like confliction. Like, you're thinking, this guy could literally do whatever he wants to do, you know? Like, Octave, if you don't know, this guy has basically, if he could look into your eyes, he could tell you to do whatever you want, including commit suicide.
Look, he's like Tetch.
Exactly. Like, he is literally Tetch, but can never fail.
What? That's amazing.
In the beginning of the anime, like, he straight up tells the battalion of soldiers that are sticking him up to kill themselves. And they're like, "You're welcome, sir!" And they all blow their brains out. With not even a second, like, well, people. It's not like he does this he can only control one person at a time. He tells, like, a whole, like, 10-man firing squad to kill themselves. And in literally a second, they do it. With a smile on their face.
Yes.
He's got such great moments, like in the second season, Double Agent is placed as his brother. He has his memories rewritten. And when that brother sacrificed, you start seeing that brother as just another pawn, and then that brother sacrifices himself to save him. And then he has this really human moment of, what the fuck have I done? Like, this is somebody who cares about me. This is somebody who viewed me as their real brother, even though there's no connection here. What the hell have I done?
It's true, man.
Yeah.
That series, it gets more shit than it deserves, because the art style is kind of bad, but it's got such a great story.
Yep. But I am gonna go thank the line of Striking Raiders. I may actually go do that. I'm not kidding. Like, I may go hold up a sign saying thank you for not doing your job, because you guys are fucking awful. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'd be so mad. Damn. I would be troll of the year next to Donald Trump if I did that.
Yep.
I would be fucking legendary status if I did that.
I think that makes Hollywood writing hurt even worse. There's really good Hollywood films out there, but it's just, God, And Star Wars: The Force Awakens sounds like a good idea. Like a girl who is a scrap dealer grows up to realize that she's the key to saving the universe. Okay.
Yeah, I do want to watch that.
She can use a lightsaber like the best of them. Alright. You can also fly the Millennium Falcon better than fucking Han Solo. Done. I'm out. See ya.
Thing is, like, they Mary sued her up so much. They're like,
it's insulting. I honestly
is.
think that women should find that shit deeply insulting.
Anybody with an IQ higher than 10 should find that shit insulting.
It's like
what?
you know, when you're you know, you have a little sister or a little baby or something, and you're playing a video game, and you want them to feel like they're good at the video game, and you hand them the controller that's not plugged in, and you beat the game for them. It's like that. It's like that levels of fucking condescension.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Is I never really realized how much of a Mary Sue that she was until I had a conversation with somebody about it. I think it might have actually been argument, but yeah, she's kind of a bad character, but whatever. And then we talked about it. It's like, yeah, she flies the Millennium Falcon better than Han Solo. The fact that she knows how to fly a spaceship in general is a fucking miracle, considering her backstory. She uses a lightsaber better than somebody who has been training to use a lightsaber and fight for God knows how long. Under somebody who might have trained the Emperor.
Kylo versus Rey fight does make a little more sense. They just didn't make it obvious. They know how to wield the lightsaber, but I mean, that guy took a shot from a bowcaster, which literally killed 2 stormtroopers in one shot. Like, and he took it to the liver. Yeah. So, like, the fact that this guy can walk is pretty... Like, they should have made that more, like, prevalent.
But this is also the guy who stopped a laser beam just with his mind. He didn't even do the hand trick. He just stopped it with his brain.
Which, in essence, why didn't he do that with the bowcaster?
Yeah, they just... I think the only scene in that movie that's really good is when he's all, oh yeah, I want to go back to the dark side. Plot twist, I'm gonna stab you now. But that's not like... It's not like because it's good writing, it's really hammy writing, but it's like... Doing a trope isn't bad if you do that trope really well.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was gonna say about the whole, you know, this whole idea of a young girl growing up and saving the galaxy, and you know, this idea that the fans would not be able to accept that is complete bullshit, because like you could almost pick a sci-fi anime at random and they're all usually about a young girl growing up and saving the fucking galaxy.
Well, that's more or less the plot to the original trilogy.
Yeah. Like, I want to watch that. Yeah. You want to put a girl there with the fucking lightsaber? Yes. Yes. I'll watch that. Good. Yeah. But, like, there needs to be a story. Like, there needs to be a hero's journey. There needs to be a progression.
There needs to be sacrifices.
Yeah.
And I think that
Mary sued the whole time.
I think that if she had been, well, if she had been good with the lightsaber, if she had just been good with the lightsaber, I could have forgiven that, because she lives in a hostile environment. It would make sense that she'd learn how to fight with whatever
fighting
she could
all the
get her hands
time.
on.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
It's when you add on that she flies the Millennium Falcon better than Han Solo, and she uses the Force
better than
Luke did when he was still learning. It just doesn't. She doesn't have to sacrifice anything. She comes from nothing, and she just gets better. And how can you be invested? I know of people who are invested in her, and I just don't get how.
Rey's so great. Well, in some ways, in a much smaller scale, you could say that like Daenerys Targaryen, you know, after the first season, she hasn't had it that rough, especially from season 5 on. She really hasn't had that many trials. And I point that out to my wife, and she's like, "Oh no, but I'm still a fan because it's still a power fantasy." And I'm like, "Okay, I can understand that. You know, like if you like fucking Kirito, you like fucking Kirito. You understand he's ridiculously overpowered, and he's kind of a dumb, bad character when it comes down to it. But if you just want the power fantasy, and some people do, then okay, sure. You like let it slide." While other people are like objectively looking at it and going, "No, this is a bad character." But if you can say, "Yeah, I acknowledge it's a bad character, but I like it anyway," I'm cool with that.
I definitely think like Ray, it's just the fact that if you want your main character to be this like, you not like idolized, but you know, a lot of people looked up to Ray after the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
If you have no challenges in life and you're just given this shit, what is that gonna do for people in reality? They're just gonna expect because they're. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what people were to expect. Like when they watch that, like, do they expect that just because have like?
If you believe, I remember. I don't know, and this might be just me being an old grumpy old man, but I remember when growing up, when they would say, you know, if you work hard enough at it, or you put your mind to it and you work hard enough at it, you can be anything you want, right? That was the thing. You could be anything you want, Jimmy. You just have to work. You just got to work as hard as you can for it, right? And you'll get it. But the message now is like, you just have to believe. And like growing up, I even kind of looked back at what they were telling our generation. Like, no, you can't just be, and even if you work really hard, like I cannot be a professional NBA player, okay? No matter fucking how hard I work, I can't. I don't have the genetics to. I would die of a heart attack if I could run that fast, or if I could jump that high. I would play 3 games and die. Okay, I don't have the genetics. There's a limit to everything, right? But that the message now is even more dangerous than that. The message now is like, you don't even have to fucking work. You just have to believe. Just believe in yourself. And like, there's no, bitch. You have to work and train too. Like, you gotta pay dues.
Exactly.
And that's the part that scares me, because it's like, oh well, you know, you don't even have to try.
I know Andrew's been watching this, but My Hero Academia touches on that. Izuku gets the big power and he tries to use it and it hurts his body, and the people around him always tell him, you can't just think that you can use it and use it. You gotta practice. You gotta learn how to control this shit. Otherwise, your arms are gonna be fucking paralyzed.
That's cool.
I agree. It's like it comes with a hefty price, you know. Like it's he can wield it. Is like
It's what makes the revelation that we're seeing in the current chapters in the manga, which I won't spoil it if people aren't reading it.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet, so please.
It just makes the revelation. You see it with all these characters. They do shitty things. People say that's kind of shitty. And then they have these arcs. They have arcs, and it's great. They take time to give everybody an arc. Which is what a series that wants to be a shonen battler like My Hero Academia, like Sword Art. Like, that's what they should do. Like, you don't care about Asuna because they didn't give her any character development. She's a whammon.
But she was a cool character when she first came out. When they first introduced her, you're like, she's pretty damn cool. And then as soon as they got together, she just became like the trope. And you're like, fuck.
She's just
not
random
waifu
anymore. Number 378.
Yeah. That was disappointing because I was like, I really like this character. And then they fucked her hard.
Fucking Shinon in the second season of that series is the same thing.
Same thing.
She's great. She has PTSD, and you see that manifest itself.
she's a really cool. She has a cool backstory, and you're like invested in her, and then she just becomes another waifu. Like immediately.
I mean, Fairy Tail doesn't even waste time. Like, look, it's a Whammon. It's another waifu.
Whammons. Yeah, man,
So
he's
I
got to
thought
get
it was
his.
okay until like it just became boring. And I was like, oh yeah, this has an interesting like idea to it, you know, guilds and shit.
Mhm.
And then I was like, wait, this is boring.
That's what makes me so mad about Fairy Tail. Is it's got a great premise to it, but it's just so much waifu bait garbage. And the other anime that the guy did, Mare, really interesting premise, but my memory, it just wasn't that good of a series.
That sucks.
I mean, Mare Skell is one of my favorite like character designs for a character. His name's Halloween. And he's got like a big cross on his back, and a black robe, and a pumpkin mask, and he changes into other people. And that's still one of my favorite like premises for a character. But they just don't do anything with him.
Yeah, I feel like in these like shonen animes, the problem is like they don't. I mean, My Hero Academia is doing it well because they actually care about the side characters. But a lot of people end up caring about the side characters more than the main characters in like the early stages of the animes. Naruto, like,
Yep.
a lot of people, like, they're like, yeah, Naruto's all right, but it's this guy we care about. Like, you know, it was like, it wasn't the main character. It was like Shikamaru or Neji or Rock Lee. Like,
Or Haku.
people cared about
Who
those
still my
guys.
favorite character, one of my favorite characters from Naruto.
Yeah.
But they don't
But those
do
are-
anything.
Yeah,
That's true.
I can attest to that. One of my favorite characters was Conan from the Akatsuki, and they hint that she's going to play a big role and everything, and she doesn't. She just dies because the person she's fighting has plot armor.
Yeah.
Like, for a brief second in her character arc, she's talking about how she grew up an orphan, and that's why the Akatsuki was formed, and that's why they want to change the world so that nobody has to suffer like that again. And it's just great character arc for the villains, and then suddenly it hits you in the face. Surprise! This is fucking Naruto. We don't do that. We don't have interesting villains. The primary antagonist is evil for evil's sake, and that's what you're gonna get, and that's what you're gonna fucking like.
Like, the biggest problem with shonen right now is the fact that one, the side characters like don't get. Well, I mean, actually, if you look at the most popular shonen, which is like One Piece, and now My Hero Academia, I think overtook like Naruto and Boruto. Naruto's like no longer there, and Boruto kind of sucks. You like Boruto?
No, it's just Naruto's over now, but now we have this anime that's called Naruto. That's what they fucking did, and I love it. It's not good. I don't like the series, but it's fucking amazing at the same time.
I was like, Mark, my man, I don't know what to tell you, but you gotta relook your taste in anime.
I
Gotta get you some Ghost in the Shell,
I love Ghost in the Shell. My favorite
and we'll
anime.
put you on rehab. We'll get you some good anime. We'll get you some Cowboy Bebop.
I
We'll get you
still-
some Ghost in the Shell.
I
Don't
still
worry.
go back and watch Ghost in the Shell standalone complex on Hulu sometimes. This is when I need to be reminded why I'm still alive and why I still watch anime.
I feel like that and dare I say Evangelion's a good anime.
It's a good anime.
It is, but it's so weird. Like it's
So
not like
fucked up, but I love it.
I like Evangelion for touching on fucked up things, but then they just make it weird because it's Evangelion.
And then the
Like,
fight,
I
you
feel like-
watch it, and it's good, and then the final episode happens and you wake up in the middle of a Walmart with 8 pounds of candy in your arm. You don't know how you got there or how long you've been there.
I definitely think Evangelion is a good anime. Don't get me wrong.
It's,
But I will say this: I do feel like it gets some weird shit just because they want to be the weird shit anime.
I think the movies are better, or the recent movies. I've only seen the two of them, but the recent movies were better
Those are-
at that. They're better at describing that this isn't just weird shit. There's something deep and weird happening here.
Movies definitely did a good job at like making, well, not only like streamlining it, but shit more palatable, I guess you can say. Because like the anime, it just kind of seemed like they were just throwing shit at me because.
Yeah, true. I think that's also what standalone complex does really well is at the end of the Laughing Man arc, you see them just sitting in a library having a conversation. It's like you start to understand this is somebody who is just fed up with life the way that it was, and all the big guys getting away with shitting all over the little guys. He's not like a villain like everybody says he is. He's misunderstood kind of vigilante.
Those are the best villains.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is one of the greatest sci-fi anime.
Build for tomorrow's event.
So, if you could make a live-action anime from any existing one, would you do it, and what would you pick?
Like, that's the thing, is would it be a good one? Or
Would it be good? With the intent of, I don't want to do another shitty live-action translation.
I had to pick one.
And what would you do to make sure it was good, I guess? That's also part of the question. Like, what do you think would be required?
What I would do,
like easy to port into IRL. But go for it, Mark.
what I would do is, and this is probably the obvious answer, but what I'd do was I would take My Hero Academia and just write basically word for word the plot, characters. Just don't touch it. Like, the source material is fine. All you need to do is add people in there, add like actors in there, and kind of condense it to a movie size, but other than that, just don't touch it. The source material is fine. That's what the Netflix Death Note movie didn't get right. It tried to screw with the golden formula that the anime put out, and then it just fucked up so horribly that it's barely watchable.
The fact that Light is like doing, not Light, or Light? Yeah, I can.
Yeah, Light.
But like,
Light's the villain.
that emo guy.
Yeah. Light.
Emo guy, right? Light?
Yeah.
Light Turner.
Why would I like go out in public? Press conference.
Oh, you mean L.
L, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I can't.
Well, L did that to a degree in the anime, but in the anime it was much more clever because he just had his symbols show up. Because Light thinks he's killed L because he had a standee in with the name, the standee's real name, saying that, yeah, I'm L, I'm gonna fucking find Kira. And then he kills the standee, and then L's image pops up and says, oh, so you're in this area in Japan, and you kill by knowing people's names and faces. I've already figured out all this shit about you. And then he starts taunting Kira by saying, what? If you think you're some big god, kill me. Do it. Fucking kill me. And then that's really good, because you see the setup. It's not...
Yeah.
There's no setup in the movie. He just shows
No.
up, wears a mask, and says, kill me. Do it. Come on.
Yeah.
What? This is like random combative Asians. What's happening?
Yes.
Kill me now.
Best. Still the best theme. That's the name of my game, Andrew.
Random
combative Asians. It's gonna be so good.
in the anime, you also have the better scene where Light first sees Ryuk. Light sees him in the anime and just, oh, that's weird. While Light sees him in the fucking anime and he's shitting himself and screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? I mean, Willem Dafoe Ryuk is the greatest thing that I have ever seen, and I want to see them try it again in a better movie.
Yeah. Just don't give it to whoever crew did that last one.
Yeah, just like keep Willem Dafoe as Ryuk because that's the greatest fucking thing ever.
Let
But
those writers go on strike, and then
get some
redo
new
it.
ones in.
Like, good job. Thank you for going on strike. Please don't return to your job. We'll just hire random people on the street that can tell better stories that you can.
Hire me, Hollywood. Hire me.
Just whatever. We won't even just give us your stupid Michael Bay shots. We'll write around those shots. That's fine. That's all the writer was really expected to do these days anyway. It's like, oh, we really want to do this. Godzilla and King Kong is gonna fight these dinosaurs. Yeah, fuck you. We're still gonna write. We'll get you to that scene, but we'll make sure it makes sense. That's all writers have to do these days. When they make a big budget movie, they storyboard and they want to shoot usually around 3 to 4 really fucking expensive, like big movie theater experience shots. That's all they want to do. They don't give a fuck about the story. They don't give a shit about the characters. They let the writers worry about that, but the writers are fucking awful. And they've never, like, they have no experience with life, and they don't understand how gravity doesn't work in space. They don't understand basic, stupid shit like that. And they just put it in, oh, it's gonna be really, like, fucking high art shit. Oh, this is really thinky because I think, no, and you punch him in the face as hard as you fucking can. Like, shut up. It doesn't make sense.
See, what I feel like what should be a requirement before you write or budget or do anything, excuse me, with a big Hollywood film is look at the older stuff. Look at stuff like Breakfast at Tiffany's. There aren't any action scenes in that movie, and it is still a completely captivating. It hooks you in. You care. It hooks you in with interesting characters and an interesting plot, and relatable characters too.
Like, take the whole the ship ramming into the Star Destroyer at light speed, right? It's a really beautiful shot, technically, and they set it up, and that's what they wanted. It was clear that the studio wanted to get to that point where that happens in the movie, right? That's what they wanted, ultimately. Doesn't matter what, how they get there or what characters are involved or anything like that. They just want to do the shot. And what the writers did to get to that shot was clinically retarded. It was clinically embarrassingly bad. Like you were saying, like there are half a dozen better suggestions as to what character did it. There are a dozen different suggestions as to the circumstances that lead to that. That's the writer. That's all the writer has to do. That's all they have to do is string these fucking scenes together so that the studio can have their jism in their pants and enjoy their big budget movie. The studio doesn't give a fuck. Like, they don't care what happens to Luke. They don't care what happens to the First Order or how they're depicted. They don't fucking care. It's the fans that care about that kind of shit. It's the people that are invested in that universe or that. And it's the writer's job to somehow tell them a story that's going to make sense. That's their only job. They got one fucking job. They can't do the one job. Like, that's why go on strike and never come back. Like, you are legitimately bad at your job if you can't do that.
You are the problem with Hollywood. You are why the Eastern media is dominating the world media right now.
Like, you see those like on your YouTube feed or your Facebook feed, you'll see like Indian Star Wars, right? You'll see some like Bollywood shit or some like Asian shit where it's just fucking ridiculous setup and it's this crazy action scene. You're like, God, I would still rather watch that over Star Wars. That's still a better movie to me.
I feel like if we sat down the creators of these DC and Marvel movies and TV shows and just made them watch My Hero Academia. This is how you do superheroes good. Do this. Just do this. You don't need to have...
But they'd be mad at you. They'd be insulted.
Good.
Because they'd go, I don't like this stuff anyways. They're like fucking video game journalists. They don't care. They wanted a different job. These guys writing the screenplays for science fiction movies or blockbuster films, they didn't want to write that shit. They wanted to write the bridges of fucking Madison County, right? They wanted to write Schindler's List. They wanted to write some high art, thinky, deep shit. They were like, oh, I'm a writer and I'm gonna go pursue truth. But then they're like, no, we're gonna fucking feed you and pay you money, come up with a goddamn Star Wars script. And they're insulted by that. Like, oh, this is nerdy crap. I don't want to do that. Me and Thaddeus at the bar, we're not happy about that. I want to tell a socially conscientious story. I want to show you how fucking elevated I am. And they end up writing this high garbage, high art shit that makes no goddamn sense because they have no connection to reality. It's I hate to use the comparison, but that is what video game journalists are. They went to Columbia, they went to these schools thinking they were going to be investigative journalists, that they were going to unveil these like incredible truths to people. And it's like, no, you're going to work at Polygon, or you're going to, we're going to have you write for IO9 or some shit. And instead of doing their job, instead of like actually enjoying the fandom that they're in and connecting with those communities and the people that really take that stuff passionately, they actually disdain them. They look down on them and they're like, what the fuck is your problem? You like video games and you're invested in video games. You must be trash. I'm going to write about how awful you are. You must live in your parents' basement and what a man baby you must be. And how you can't accept this bad video game when I thought it was great artsy bullshit. That's what it is. These people, you could sit them down and make them watch Star Wars, or you could make them watch, you could make them read the old comic books, but they would just be insulted by that because they're artsy fucks. They don't, that would be like sitting me down and going like, oh yeah, you're writing for Elle magazine now, Octave. You got to write about the spring fashion and what it means to 16-year-old girls. Like I have no connection to that. I'm doing a job, and I thought when I got into writing, I thought I was gonna write Frank Herbert Dune or some shit, right? I thought I was gonna write something in my world, but no, I get paid to write 14 things you should never hear your boyfriend have to say, right? Like, what am I gonna contribute to that conversation? That's kind of how I see it. It's like you have professionals in place, but that's not what they ever wanted. That's not what this isn't what they wanted to do.
Definitely tell that with video games. Oh, BRB real quick.
Yeah. That's why video game journalists are such dicks. Like and comic book journalists are serious dicks. Like they couldn't give two shits about what you think of Tony Stark, or they don't give a fuck. They just like, oh, this is an old white man. I can't bear to be around him.
I don't want to
because he insults my conscientious. That's what you're seeing. And then they have this whole like in-group out-group dynamic too.
That Tony Stark reference is actually perfect because every time that I say Tony Stark is a horribly written, horribly handled character whose entire motivation for everything relies on whatever is necessary for the plot to advance. You say, no, you just don't know the character. Like, yeah, I fucking do. Yeah, I do. He's a boring, rich twat.
Is it? Wait, who are we talking about? I just came back.
Tony Stark. Like, Civil War II puts it on the biggest display ever, because the whole point to Civil War II is there's this new superhuman mutant. Not mutant, but like the Inhumans, who can see the future, and they use his future sync powers to stop Thanos from invading and to save millions of lives. But then he throws a hissy fit saying, well, the future he sees is only one part of is only one possible truth. He can't see all the future. Like, dude, what the fuck? Thanos was stopped.
Well, I don't know. I do think that that's the problem with professional studios and professional writers, though, is there, and I know this firsthand from some, I guess they were friends of mine that took writing in college, and they wanted to be that. Like, they wanted to be they wanted to write the great American novel, or they wanted to be, you know, the investigative journalist that goes out there and seeks the truth, and, you know, instead they end up writing technical manuals, right? Or they end up writing in fields or in areas where they have no real interest, and so they like approach it with a particular disdain. It's almost like being if you were an artist and, you know, you painted, I don't know, let's say you painted primarily landscapes, and you went to school and you wanted to paint landscapes, and you get out in the real world and you want to get a job, and people say, nah, you can't paint landscapes. I want you to paint designs for puppy furniture, whatever the fuck that means. And you just right, and you're in that world, and you go to conventions, you go to pet conventions, and you look at these like crazy cat ladies, and you look at people that you really have no connection with, and you think they're weird, and you think they're sad because you think you're hot shit, and all of your writing and everything you create is reflective of that. And that's why, like, when people say, oh, you know, Rian Johnson hates fans of Star Wars, he must hate, you know, he calls them crying man babies, or people stuck in the past, or people who can't accept change. He does look at them with disdain, because that wasn't his job was to be brought in, and he wanted to produce some high art thinky bullshit. But he did not. He honestly has no vested interest in the Star Wars universe. He has no connection to it. And when fans say that he doesn't respect the Star Wars universe, and he doesn't respect the Luke Skywalker character, he doesn't. He wants to, you know, no, they brought him in, and he wanted to produce a vision. I'll even bring it back to fucking Ghostbusters. And, you know, Paul Feig, who had a vision of who actually makes some, you know, I thought Spy was a pretty fucking hilarious movie. Like, he does good shit like that. And but they brought him into Ghostbusters, and he had a vision for a movie that wasn't actually Ghostbusters, and they just slapped the skin on it. And that caused all kinds of fucking problems, because he wanted to present that vision and really ultimately wasn't impassioned about the Ghostbusters world or setting or characters the way the fans are. There's all kinds of examples like that where, the last movie I watched, which was the Guy Ritchie King Arthur movie, right? Guy Ritchie made a fucking King Arthur. That's the weirdest shit I think I've ever heard, right? Guy Ritchie makes British gangster movies. He makes British gangster movies that have all these characters with cool names, and they pull off heists, and they talk shit to each other. And now they made him do a King Arthur movie. Well, guess what? He had no respect for the King Arthur, the Arthurian legends or anything, so he fucked up all kinds of shit going in there, because he wanted to basically present another gangster pick skinned as King Arthur, and it didn't work. Like, that's the reason why, I think that's one of the reasons, at least, why fans are so mad about their franchises getting fucked, because it's, you know, they bring people in that aren't invested in the franchise, and you hear them you hear the interviews, like, they ask him, did you really enjoy Star Wars as a kid? Oh, I really love Star Wars, that's great. Fuck you. You did not like Star Wars. You never watched Star Wars. You thought the people that had Star Wars action figures were fucking losers. Like, just be real. Like, They hired a professional director and writer, and he didn't have any connection to it. They wanted a professional person there. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem with professionals is, like I said, they all want to write the next great thing. Nobody ever wants to just write something that's good. It has to be great. It has to be perfect.
And ironically, it does come off as fan fiction in a sense. At least Game of Thrones did. Because those two writers, again, professional writers, but, you know, they're trying to fill in for George R.R. Martin. They don't understand where the hell he's going. They don't even understand the central themes of the story. And they're like, well, we're just going to give the fans what they want. And so they just basically wrote fanfic for 2 seasons.
I'd say, no, I haven't watched Walking Dead since the first season ended. But I'd say that's the same problem with Walking Dead. You're in a situation where they wrote off the character of Carl because the fans at this point expect, well, I want to see some gruesome death. It's not because it's an interesting storyline, because it's not. The interesting is to have the kid with one eye stay around the zombie apocalypse, be essentially useless, and watch as he learns how to find some way to be useful to the group. Not have him be what happened.
Yeah.
And
It's like the opposite of Mary Sue. Like, I feel like he's like Johnny Walk, you know, like, or like Johnny Tran, or I don't know, something like that. But
Johnny Private Jackson. Private Jackson.
he's the opposite of like what a Mary Sue is. It's like he doesn't get anything. He just sucks at everything.
He just sucks and then he dies. He's the Steve Buscemi of the series.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. He's Donnie. Donnie from The Big Lebowski. Donnie just sucks at everything and then he dies. That's his job. Shut the fuck up, Donnie, and then he just dies.
Oh, wow.
That's the opposite of a Mary Sue.
but if you really think of it, Carl is the opposite of a Mary Sue, and it's just if you're a kid in a zombie apocalypse and everyone else is taking care of shit for you, like
There's so much interest and there's so much potential interest in a character like that, and the TV show is just pissing it all away. Because we gotta have that big gruesome cutscene.
Yeah.
We gotta be Game of fucking Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in their defense, I think they do it before Game of Thrones.
What's that?
I think Walking Dead and Game of Thrones kind of happened into their thing around the same time.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it'd be too close to call.
They're both kind of following the same model of like, let's just run this through.
Unrelenting shit.
Yeah, I kind of gave up on Walking Dead. Like Game of Thrones, I'll still watch because it has a like an upcoming ending. Like Walking Dead, they were just dragging that shit along because like they could. But I mean, that is what a zombie apocalypse is. You're just dragging the shit along until.
Well, you could
die.
say the Resident Evil movies were doing the same thing, but those are fun movies to watch. They're not good. By no stretch
Yeah,
of
I
the
don't think
imagination
anyone
are they
accuses
good
the Resident
movies.
Evil movies of being good.
There's no... I mean, I love them, but it's not because they're good movies. It's because they're fun movies to watch. Like, no, it doesn't make sense that Alex can kick a dude in the jaw so hard it breaks his neck, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like, but see, that's the thing is, I think that's the direction they're going with Star Wars, in which it's not supposed to be an arc anymore. It's just, this is an adventure. Which
Here's
I
how
don't
the
know.
next chapter goes down, basically.
I mean,
Yeah, like,
Resident Evil can get away with it, because that's what Resident Evil has always been. Those movies have always just been, yeah, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
no, I agree. I
There's
agree.
no-
Resident Evil makes sense, because that's what they did from the get-go.
Yeah, but Star Wars So it's like you said, the first 3 Star Wars movies and even the prequels, they have interesting characters, they have interesting arcs and interesting stories and a good lore. But
Yeah.
since Disney are franchising it out even worse than they were, it's no longer about the story or the characters. It's what do the wacky, fucking social justice and all-inclusive trio get up to now?
Yeah, I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't like The Force Awakens, but at least I thought, okay, well, they can do cool shit with that. They've set it up to where they can do cool shit at least, and then they immediately shat directly on that. There was a lot of cool directions that could have went, and they're like, let's just shit directly on it.
I love Kylo Ren as a villain, but everything else about those movies. Ugh.
Kylo's the most interesting character. I mean, if I had to choose, like, which is your favorite character, it'd either be like the ace pilot or Kylo.
Yeah, those are the only 2 reasons worth watching films, and even then, they don't get that much screen time, really.
They just don't.
And this kind of feeds back into what some people have been saying Disney's been doing for a long time, just writing the same handful of stories with different characters. When I first saw The Force Awakens, I liked it. And then, like, a month or 2 later, I sat down and thought, why did I like that? I could not think of a single reason why. Besides Kylo Ren and,
It happened and like stuff definitely like went down.
But it's not interesting stuff, because most of it revolves around Rey, and she's about as interesting as a wet towel.
Yeah, and it's a lot of like the heart-wrenching moments beats from like the previous films.
Yeah, because you care about those characters. So when they get killed, you're like, oh, that's messed up.
Well, this goes back to the hack writing thing, is kill the cute animal. That'll elicit a emotional response out of the viewer. That's the cheap and easy way to get an emotional response from the viewer. I remember when The Last Guardian was coming out, everybody looked at Trico and thought, that thing's gonna die. There were bets at the first E3 trailer, Trico's gonna die.
Alright guys, well, it's time for me to go to sleep, but you guys are welcome to stay up. I'm just gonna end my streams here and then pass out. But yeah, here we go. They're done. They've been done for a little while now. And I took them off the stands. But look, they're
good.
swole.
Even the dude with garlic cloves in his hair.
Garlic knots in his hair.
Yeah, he just has them there so he can pull them out and have a snack when he gets hungry.
I really like the way this resin takes paint. It looks great. Actually, I may need to wash his skin a little bit. No, he looks okay.
I posted pictures of the Zatanna to Arkham City limits, and
like that just looks fucking good.
Yeah, the resins look really nice.
It takes the paint really well. But okay, well, I'm gonna call it, guys, and I will see you guys tomorrow at the Wrath Kings thing.
Yes, sir.
So, yep. Good night, guys.